knock it has been for the Indian team, getting their highest total in one-day internationals, 370 for the loss of 5 wickets at the back of a maiden 100 from Jemima Rodrigues.
Came in when the score was on 156, but what a brilliant innings from her to bring up her maiden century in ODI cricket. Jemima Rodrigues playing all around the park. Fantastic footwork and an emotional moment as well for any cricketer when they bring up their first century, and that's how she got it all around the park. Even runs, leg side, offside, in front of square, behind square. The bowlers had no answers.
Well, Ireland managed to break the first brilliant partnership. That was between captain Shruti Mandana and Pratika, who's in electric form. Then they had Harleen and Jemima to deal with, and they scored 183 coming in at about the 20 over mark. So 30 overs for them, and they piled on the runs. So brilliant innings, really the full package from India, as Ireland's bowlers were made to toil hard. Their fourth highest total conceded. There were bright spots. Dempsey and Canning in particular had good economy rates. 2 wickets as well for Prendergast and Kelly, 1 for Dempsey.
Excellent batting performance. They won the toss, decided to put the runs on the board, and 371 is the target in front of Ireland to level the series. Won't be the easiest. Izzy, I know they've been there in the dressing room. Shivani, you know what the dressing room would be like in the Indian side. Two contrasting dressing rooms as the two openers walk out to have this massive chase.
I think India will think, let's try and take all 10 wickets. They only took 7 in the last game. Ireland, well, there's 2 ways they could look at it. Do we look to chase it down? Do we look to bat 50 overs? Well, knowing Gabby Lewis, she doesn't pull any punches. She'll be looking to win the game despite the fact that it's a tall mountain to climb. That's just the way this Irish team play their cricket.
And put your best foot forward as well. Go after it, at least initially, until, in case you lose a couple of wickets, okay, then you reassess. But Sarah Forbes, still very early in her ODI career, which shows plenty of promise. You saw her get some good shots off in that first game before she was dismissed.
And Gabby Lewis, she'll be recognised around the world. I think after that first game, 92 for her. 50 games came up in the first game of this series. Highest run scorer for Ireland in one-day internationals, 1,414.
Stadium in Rajkot. What a knock it has been for the Indian team, getting their highest total in one-day internationals, 370 for the loss of 5 wickets at the back of a maiden 100 from Jemima Rodrigues.
Game 11 50s, but still the elusive century to come.
Came in when the score was on 156, but what a brilliant innings.
Decision to not out, stand by, and you're on screen. Signal now, please.
First ball,
Review retained.
of course, after the interval, the good thing is she went for the review. Forbes.
If that's me, I'm going up straight away. That ball hits your pad and you don't need to go and check with your captain. You've just hit it, Sarah Forbes. Review immediately next time, I would say. But she survives.
Some rare occasions, you don't feel it or hear it. Her bat was turned in, and it's just taking that faint edge. And there was hardly any deviation either, so perhaps she didn't feel it. Very rare occasion, but still, it does happen.
Excellent. Off the mark now, Forbes. She should get more than a couple if they really push.
Yeah, very technically correct. I think that image that we just saw on screen was brilliant because I think she just realised then she'd hit it. So obviously, Shabani, you're on the money. She didn't feel the little inside edge. Gabby Lewis heard something maybe from the non-striker's end, or maybe it was something to do with the line.
Excellent. This is confidence oozing out for Sarah Forbes.
Nice stride toward the ball, outside off stump. Width was on offer. But nicely driven, finds the gap. Positivity. The positive start really bodes well.
Especially since you got out caught behind in slip, a sharp chance. Deepti Sharma took it, but she's not afraid to go to her strength and continue driving. You know that Titash Sadhu is eyeing up another dismissal of Sarah Forbes. She's got a packed offside field, slip for on the offside, saving the single and a third. She started the last game quite straight on the stumps, but today she did the same thing, but she got the first wicket. Not to be for India.
Bad one. Completely off the radar, Titash Sadhu.
Just talking about the mood in the Indian dressing room, it's almost as if, I would say, they can do something like as if they're bowling first, to just see if they can get all 10 wickets, as you mentioned, Izzy, earlier, but also to keep the scoring to a minimum.
Possibly going down leg side again. Virinder Sharma would think more than a couple of times before he decides, or lets the captain decide whether they want to take a review or not. No one is really confident. Smriti Mandana has 4 seconds and she's gone for the review.
TV umpire to director, we have a player review for LBW. On-field decision was not out. It's a fair delivery. Can we start with front-on vision, please? Just roll that through that again. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be any bat. We'll just go to Ultra Edge, please. Clear gap, clear gap. Roll through. Roll through. Yep. Satisfied there is a clear gap between bat and ball. So if we move on to Ultra Edge, please. Sorry, ball tracking, please. Yes. Copy, standing by for ball tracking.
Yeah, I think this was a case of looking to review because Gabby Lewis is such a big wicket for India. They can dismiss her early. It would knock the sails knocked the wind out of the sails of the Irish chase.
Okay, pitching outside off, impact in line, and wickets is missing. So go back on field to Veru to stay with your original decision, not out. You're on screen, signal now.
The decision of the umpire stays. India loses its first review.
Cricket Stadium.
And very
in
interesting,
Rajkot.
Izzy and Shivani, the Indian fielders and the bowler are
What a knock it
all
has been
in
for the Indian
readiness
team,
to bowl the
getting
second
their
over.
highest total in one
Didn't
day
they just ask for the
internationals.
review?
370 for the loss of 5 wickets at the back of a maiden 100 from Jemima Rodrigues.
Nice start by Sayali Satkare.
Came in
Her
when the
second
score was
game
on
for Sayali
156.
Had a tough first over in that first ODI, but thereafter she found her feet
century
and bowled a maiden.
in ODI cricket. Jemima Rodrigues
And some
playing
tight
all around
overs.
the park.
This time,
Fantastic
she started
footwork.
right on the money.
An emotional moment as well for any cricketer when they bring up their first century, and that's how she got it all around the park. Even runs, leg side,
261
offside, in
is
front
the
of
highest
square,
that
behind square.
Ireland women
bowlers
have
had
chased
no
in
answers.
international cricket. That was against Sri Lanka, successful chase.
Well,
Remember
Ireland managed to
anything of
break
that,
the
Izzy?
first brilliant partnership. I was there, yeah, it was
between
absolutely fantastic. Captain Trissy Mandana and
the
Prathika
Apollo
was in
featured that day.
electric form. Then they had
and
Harleen and
plenty of
Jemima
girls were
to
on the
deal
field
with,
with
and
her.
they
So they
do have that memory
183
coming in at about the
And
20 over mark. So 30 overs for them, and they piled on the runs. Lots of young
brilliant
players. We
innings.
saw Sarah
Really
Forbes, her numbers
package
not
from
great
India.
so far.
As
11
Ireland's
games, bowlers were, but she's played all of those games
Needs to
pretty much
toil
against
hard.
top quality opposition.
Her
She's not
fourth
really had
highest total
the games
conceded.
against teams around Ireland's ranking. There were bright spots.
Maybe pile
Dempsey
up
and
some
Canning in
runs.
particular had good economy rates, 2 wickets as well
So
for
it's been a
Prendergast and Kelly.
Tough
One for
introduction to
Dempsey.
international cricket.
But she does look like she's got the technique, and I do think she's got the temperament. So
Excellent
obviously
batting
Ed Joyce is
performance.
placing trust in her.
They won the toss, decided to put the runs on the board, and 371 is the target in front of Ireland to level the series. Which side of the ground were you seated, Izzy? Won't be the easiest.
There were a couple
you've
of
been
wins
there
in
in the
that series,
dressing
so
room.
it's mixing them
Shivani, you know what the dressing room would be like
Yeah,
on the
well,
Indian
Prendergast, I
side.
think,
Took
her winning shot was
contrasting
down the ground
dressing
over the
rooms
top.
as the two
I
openers
was at
walk
long
out
on.
to have this massive
In
chase.
fact, my niece and nephew and my sister
think
were there
India will
watching,
think,
and
let's try
they
and
nearly
take
got
all
cleaned
10
up
wickets.
by
They
an
only
order
took 7 in
Prendergast
the last
lofted
game.
off drive. So that was the
Ireland, well, there's
was the
two ways
highlight
they
for
could
them.
look at it.
Do we look to chase it down? Do we look to bat 50 overs? Well, knowing Gabby Lewis, she doesn't pull any punches. She'll be looking to win the game despite the fact that
She's
it's
such an
a tall
exciting player,
mountain
and
to
in that
climb.
game,
That's
she was
just the way
brilliant
this
against
Irish
Spain,
team play
and
their
that's why I
cricket. I think she's so key to this Ireland lineup. She's
Put
going
your
to come
best
in
foot
at
forward
4.
as well. Go
Change
after
in the
it,
lineup
at least
as well.
initially, until in case you lose a couple of wickets,
Christina
okay, then
O'Reilly
you
will be sitting
reassess.
somewhere in there,
But Sarah
stewing,
Forbes,
thinking
still
about
very
coming in at
early
number
in
3.
her
She
ODI
replaces
career.
Una Emintowie.
which shows
In
plenty
that
of
position,
promise.
they've gone for the extra bowler today,
We saw her
Ireland.
get some good shots up in that first game before she was dismissed.
Made it over to start for Sayali Satkare, 8 without loss.
And Gabby Lewis, she'll be recognised around the world. I think after that first game, 92 for her. 50 games came up in the first game of this series. Highest runs scorer for Ireland in one-day internationals at 1,414.
Sarah Forbes, Gabby Lewis opening the batting for Ireland. Maybe an important opening partnership to get closer.
She got that record in the last game. 11 50s, but still the elusive
Beautiful
century
timing. Excellent.
to come.
One better than the other. Gabby Lewis says, that's exactly the way I want to start my innings.
Well, we've seen an Indian player go back-to-back and show us just how good she is. Prathika Rawal. Can Gabby Lewis do it today? Well, she started just as she left off in game 1. Classical cover drive, and it's really a strength of hers. Such a tall player. She's got a great reach.
Okay, clear gap. And pause
He
there.
likes this area as well.
Yep, I have the ball
cover
on
drive.
the bat and I have a clear spike,
As you
satisfied
mentioned,
that there is bat involved.
classical technique.
So I'll go back on field to Veru, change the
Stands tall.
decision to not out, stand
Drives
by,
on the
and
up
you're on
as
screen
well.
signal now, please.
Makes
First
it look
ball,
so easy.
Review retained.
Of course, after the
No surprise they came up
interval,
together. Sarah
the
Forbes,
good thing
Gabby
is she
Lewis
went
came
for
from
the
same
review.
cricket club back home.
Forbes.
If that's me, I'm going up straight away. That ball hits your
They're
pad
coming
and you're
for
immediately
immediate.
YMCA
You don't need
cricket
to
club
check
with
with
your
your
captain,
You
Dublin
just hit
4.
it, Sarah Forbes.
And
Review
they had the
immediately
same
next time, I would
cricket
say.
coach growing up, so that's why they look
But she
pretty
survives.
similar. They're not the same in stature, so slightly different in that way. But Kamal from YMCA, unfortunately, YMCA
Some
is not
rare
a club anymore. They
occasions.
lost their ground a year ago, which
You
is
don't feel it or
really
hear it.
disappointing for
Her bat was
Irish cricket in
turned
general.
in, and it's just taking that
But they've
faint edge.
produced great
And
cricketers.
there was hardly any deviation either, so perhaps she didn't feel it.
Two of whom
Very
are in the
rare
middle there, along with the
occasion,
Tectors,
but
who
still,
people
it
might know.
does
Harry
happen.
Tector, his other brothers have played as well. Curtis Camphor was playing in that club. I'm not going to continue naming internationals from YMCA because I'll forget one out of the many. But it's been a big loss to the Irish cricket community. Rhoda Prendergast, hopefully she's getting some fuel on board. In the background, seeing on the left, they're the next two in. Well, unfortunately, cramp got the better of Gabby Lewis when she was on 92, but before that, she was in great form. Showed great balance, good head position, and a good variety of shots as well.
Excellent.
Difficult to bowl to
Off
her.
the mark now,
She's so
folks.
tall, sweet, swell.
Should get a more than
Very
a
good on
couple
the
if they
back foot
really
and
push.
fantastically good down the ground and through the covers. Yeah, very technically correct. I think that image that we just saw on screen was brilliant because I think she
Well,
just
without
realised
cross.
then she'd hit it. So obviously, Shabani, you're on the money. She didn't feel the little inside edge. Gabby Lewis
जो प्यार था,
heard something maybe from the non-striker's end, or maybe it was
उसने
something
धोखे
to
का
do with the
मतलब
line.
सिखाया। अहमियत को ही उसका गुनाह बना दिया, जिसका हिसाब ये अभिमन्यु लेगा। मैं तुम्हें बर्बाद कर
Excellent.
दूंगा तारा।
This is confidence oozing out for Sarah Forbes.
Nice try toward the ball outside off stump, which was on offer. Nicely driven, finds the gap.
15th December to
Positivity.
27th January.
Positive start.
Especially since you got a caught behind in slip,
After
a sharp
first
chance.
maiden
DG
over.
Sharma took it.
It's a much
But
better
she's not
start
afraid to go
from
to her
Sally
strength and continue
Sankare
driving.
from where she did in the first game on debut. That was 2 days ago.
You know that Titash
There you
Sadhu
see the confidence
is
as
eyeing
she
up another
runs in the second
dismissal of Sarah
over.
Forbes. She's got a packed offside field slip forward
And she's found
on
her
the offside side,
line
the single and the
from
third.
the get-go,
She started the last
With
game
the swing
quite
into
straight
the
on the
right-hander.
stumps, but today
ensuring that she's
did the
ending up
same
on the
thing.
stumps.
She got the first wicket. Not to be for India.
Just over, closing the face of the bat too early there, Sarah Forbes, looking to clip it to square leg. It just evades Sally Sankare.
I think the head position not good here. Just fell over with the fuller length towards the offside. Sarah Forbes maybe looking to miss mid-wicket. Just close the face. But a bit of luck goes her way. Let's have a look at this head position. Yeah, just not quite towards the ball.
Should be a lot closer this time. The concern for Smriti Mandhana will be that they've already lost one review. Should they go in for the second or not? Brindarati has not given it in favour of the fielding side. Hesitantly, but Smriti takes it. The review.
TV Umpire 2 Director, we have a player review for LBW. Original decision was not out. It's a fair delivery. Can we start with front on vision, please? Okay, it doesn't appear to be any bat, but we'll go to Ultra Edge, please. clear gap, clear gap, clear gap, flat line, next frame. Yep, clear gap, flat line, satisfied there is no bat involved. Can we move on to ball tracking when ready, please? Standing by for ball tracking.
Well, you could see that it was such a tough decision to go up for the TV umpire. They haven't been right once, India, with their reviews in the series so far.
Okay, pitch outside off, impact in line, and wickets is missing. So go back on field to Verinda, stay with your not out decision. I'll let you know when you're on screen, stand by and signal now.
Brindarati was right. India have lost both their reviews.
I don't think they actually believed that that would be out. I think it was more of a half chance that they were taking. Also because of the angle, Saili Satgare is bowling into the right-hander. It is moving quite a bit off the surface. It was pitched well outside off stump and then would have definitely been missing from that angle.
Yeah, there has to be a lot more thought put in before the game because there's certain bowlers who are more likely to get LBWs. There's also impact, how close to the stumps it is, which bowlers. Saili Satgare is not going to get many LBWs. The reason being to hit the pad in front of the stumps, oftentimes it's going to be going down leg. If it does hit and it's going to hit the stumps, it's most likely to have impacted outside off stump. So these are the kinds of things that maybe Team India need to go back and really think about. Right, it's got to be hitting the back foot when this bowler is bowling. It's just like when we had the left-hander batting the other day and you've got a right-arm bowler bowling over the stumps. You cannot get LBWs and it'd be actually hitting the stumps.
Izzy has explained it just like how an umpire would think, standing at the decision-making end. 13 without loss.
Two good overs from Saili Satgare, a maiden to start off, and then just the solitary run in her second over.
Well explained, Izzy, in the previous over as to why Saili Satgare would probably not have as many victims, at least when she's bowling this line. Are you surprised with the similarity between Titash Sadhu and Saili Satgare, or you feel there are still areas where a batter would feel they're not similar, they're slightly different, but we need to be having a watchful eye?
I think that delivery explains perfectly why they're different, because that one just nipping away ever so slightly, that's exactly the delivery she bowled in game one to get rid of Sarah Forbes. That's because she bowls with a wobble seam, so when it hits the seam, as it did on this occasion, it's just going to straighten up. We'll leave that from Gabby Lewis. That's how you should leave it. Get into a position to play the shot, and then when you know it's not there, you can let it go.
This is lovely striking. The balance in that shot was the key from Gabby Lewis.
You mentioned the balance and the head position as well. Her head always on top of the ball, leaning forward. Plays it right under her eyes. And only 3 fielders on the leg side. Fast outfield, and it races away.
And I think what's evident with the way Gabby Lewis is playing on the front foot, it's not just her head position, it's also her transfer of weight. Look at her back foot. As she makes contact, it's off the ground. That tells you someone's got really good balance and that their head position's not making them fall over.
In the last game as well, she played a glorious on drive. This one again, while you're watching it, look at the foot position, the toe pointing down straight, the head right on top of the ball, not leaning forward too early, not too late. And as a tall batter, you can be tempted to using your bottom hand a lot more than required. But not for Gabby Lewis. 18 without loss.
जो प्यार था,
Will you marry me?
उसने धोखे का मतलब सिखाया। तारा, आज तुमने शिवा की मासूमियत को ही उसका गुनाह बना दिया, जिसका हिसाब ये अभिमन्यु लेगा।
Have we met before?
Have you? मोहब्बत का फरेब करके जैसे तुमने मुझे बर्बाद किया था, वैसे ही मैं तुम्हें बर्बाद कर दूंगा तारा।
She wants the two. It's a nice effort, but will get a boundary instead of just a couple of runs, Forbes.
Good placement as well. 5 fielders on the leg side. 3 inside the circle in front of her eyes, but she plays this nice and late, helps it along. And soft enough hands to get it nice and fine.
Fairly not pleased with the 2 fielders, Tejal Hasabnis, Harleen Deol, both of them. She expected both of them to dive and stop that ball. Once Tejal missed it because of the pace, Harleen didn't put in the dive, probably was slightly away. Camera catches it all, Sayali.
I do love this variation that Sally has. She's not the quickest by any means, bowls kind of mid-90s, but she's not afraid to bowl that shorter delivery. Comes as a bit of a surprise, I think, for the batters because she's not got express pace. Good bravery, great change-up, rather than having to bowl the slower ball. Digs it in short.
At least a couple. Yeah, she started using that variation more so in T20 cricket. I think for Mumbai, the wickets can allow you to have those variations come through, or wherever the Mumbai team plays. The confidence as a player coming through the domestic grind and performing well, the team coming out as champions, the Mumbai women's cricket team, and now being given an opportunity here. As batters, we look for confidence. Same goes for the bowlers. In the last 3 deliveries, 3 different types of length and pace we've seen from Sayali Satkare.
Just her second game, and you can see the change in confidence from the first to the second. Variations in line length. She's gone with the short ball early as well. When she does bowl that short delivery, it's well directed. Seam position on this one. Impeccable.
.24 without loss.
Saili Sudbury's pitch map in that first ODI. She was on the shorter side. 23%. and then 21% was a little too full. Towards
Fayali Satkare. From first to the second one-day international, Shivani.
this was the first ODI. You can see the different lengths did spray it a little bit, at least initially. Once she got into the groove, then she held the good length, the 4 to 6 meter mark, and she was there and thereabouts consistently thereafter.
Nice change. Saima Thakur gets a look in early in the first 10 overs. Hitash Sadhu, none for 17 in a 3. Just admire. That's all you would like to do looking at this shot from Gabby Lewis.
Well, we like that previous clip off the legs. This is even better. A little more flourish. Welcome to the game to Saima Thakur. Looking for a bit of swing. Doesn't quite get the same position right. Really watchful there at Gabby Lewis. A little flick of the wrist at the end as well.
She never closes the face of the bat. She's using her wrist, yes, for the boundary, to find the gap. But as the bowler, you can always see the face of the bat. You cannot see the edge. If you close it too early, then you have the tendency to get that leading edge trouble, especially when the pitch holds up a little. Good technique.
She wants to move that ball away, Saima Thakur. The first ball she released was trying to get that outswing going, but got punished to the boundary. This is much better.
Naught for 30 from 10 overs, so she bowled really consistently in the last game but didn't take a wicket. I wonder, now that she's come on nice and early, Ireland might look to take her on a bit more. She's bowling very full. Could they maybe try and target her? And she'd be relishing that because that gives her an opportunity to take a wicket.
Not very impressive yet again with the new ball, Hitash Sadhu. And you have a bowler who has a wide grip on that seam position, the control in terms of the release. Wobbly. That's why that watchful thing that, as you mentioned, that a batter has to watch whether the ball is coming in or not. .28 without loss.
Yeah. Smashed in for 6, big bombs, Myers and a go. Richardson knocks him over.
KFC Big Bash League, 15th December to 27th January.
मोहब्बत का फरेब करके जैसे तुमने मुझे बर्बाद किया था, वैसे ही मैं तुम्हें बर्बाद कर दूंगा तारा। अब कदम मेरा अगला देखना। प्यार तो देखा, अब मेरा बदला देखना।
At 28 without loss after 7. A watchful start by the Irish openers. But that asking rate, almost 8 now. I did that well in the first game as well, bowling that short ball, but this time was too short, too high. One for the over and also called a wide. Way too high that. in the air but in the gap. A top effort in the field. A couple of runs though.
Much better start from Saili this game. She started off rather nervously in the first game when she made her debut, but she's hit the strap straight away. Bowled right line, made the ball swing a little bit, posed a lot of questions to the batters, and even there it was uppish. Hobbs was not in control of the shot.
She definitely has been much better today. The previous game, she's bowling those straighter lines. But I think she could use another fielder from the onside. Right now, offside fielder, she just has 4. And her line of attack the past couple of balls has been on the off stump. She's been driven there. So I think she could do well with getting one from the on.
Yeah, you're right. She's bowling a trifle wide of the stumps. With just 4 fielders on the offside. She's got 5 on the onside.
Oh, give in. Brilliant. The hint of a wave movement. But she's quite confident there, Gabby Lewis. She's quite confident of not nicking it. And hence the review.
TV umpire 2 director, we have a player review for caught behind. Original decision is out. It's a fair delivery. Can we start with front on vision, please? Yep, ball is passing very close to the bat there. Can we move on to ultra edge, please? Copy that, building ultra edge at the moment. Okay, and pause there. Okay, I have the ball on the bat and I have a clear spike. Satisfied that's bat on ball. Go back to Verinda to stay with your out decisions. Stand by. You're on screen, signal now.
Got it right, Vrinda Rathi. She's an excellent umpire. Got it right again. Faintest of edges, not the easiest for the umpire to pick, but she did pick it up. And Ireland lose a review and also the wicket of their captain. A massive wicket. Gabby Lewis batted so wonderfully in the first ODI. A big wicket for Saili and India. Seeing the back of Gabby Lewis, gone for 12, 32 for 1 Ireland.
That's big enough.
Mr. 360 in full flow.
Sparkling Sanju Samson. Fantastic. Tilak Verma.
It's England into the batting lineup. This should be quite a contest.
India versus England. First T20I, 22nd January. Only on Disney Plus Hotstar and Star Sports.
Deadpool. And
Coulter Riley, the new batter in. A big wicket for India. She batted so well in the first ODI. Now Christina Coulter Riley.
This is a good pitch, but on a surface like this, the Indian pacers have done really well. Not conceded too many runs. Ireland going at 4.17. But what has happened in the first 6 overs is that quite a few questions were asked.
We got lucky there. Got extremely lucky there. We'll get a boundary, we'll get off the mark, but had no clue where she had hit the ball, or rather, it came off the hand. So 4 given in the form of leg byes.
And that was a good bouncer. It's off the helmet. Probably she didn't expect a bouncer so soon. Second ball she was facing.
That's a terrific bouncer. That's exactly what a bouncer is meant to be, a surprise weapon. And Coach O'Reilly was beaten by pace. Good aggression from Saili on the back of a wicket. She surprised the new batter.
And because it hit a helmet, the physio is out for a quick concussion test. It flicked the helmet. Should be all right.
The protocols these days demand that the physio ask a few questions and get some answers from the batter. And this was the fall of Gabby Lewis, reaching out to a wide delivery and nicking to the keeper. She was the highest scorer for Ireland in the first game, and a lot was expected of her given that Ireland is chasing a humongous task of chasing 371.
It's a good shot, but straight to the fielder. A successful over comes to an end. 36 for 1. Watchful start, but then obviously lost the wicket of their captain Gabby Lewis. Ireland in a spot of bother here, 36 for 1 after 8. And chasing down a mammoth total of 371. Now required run rate again, a shade below 8 and over. And a few big overs. The last couple of overs in the power play, need to capitalize on that. A lot more confident in this game, Saili.
I think she was pegging at that line. She wanted Gabby Lewis to throw her bat, go for those shots, the cover drive, which she got a couple of runs before her dismissal. She went for the same shot, no way in line or close to the line.
Her dismissal brought Colt O'Reilly at number 3. Mithali, there's been a bit of search going on for an ideal number 3 in the Indian side of late. And you batted number 3 for a long, long time and scored tons and tons of runs. What are the qualities that you would see in a number 3 batter if you had to be asked to pick a choice?
Ooh, close, non-strikers end. Needed direct hit. Or maybe somebody behind the stumps to get hold of that throw. A given leg by. A dangerous singled up one.
Well, talking about the number 3 position, I think there are the two ways you can look at it. One is the number 3 batter has to come at a time when there is an early fall of wicket. Sometimes I walked in the first over itself. So I have to be very good in negotiating the movement, swing. And sometimes like today, when Harleen walked in with 156 runs on the board. So it all depends on the situation you're walking in. But at the same time, someone who should be able to play the spinners well as the fast bowlers. A very important position.
Yes, a catalyst is required. So what does make a catalyst? Good technique?
Well, if you have to negotiate swing, you definitely have to have technique. You need to understand the pace of the wicket, the plan around the opponent, what plan the bowlers do have, but also at the same time reading the situation on the field. Where does your batting is, the team is.
In the air, falling short of the fielder. Maybe another half a chance there for run out. Might have a look, but that's the end of the over. 9 overs done, 39 for 1.
जिंदगी ने मुझे एक बात सिखा दी, बेवफाई कोई गुनाह नहीं, धोखेबाजी कोई गुनाह नहीं, गुनाह सिर्फ एक है, अच्छाई। और इस नए साल की शुरुआत में हर गुनाह का अंत होगा।
Saili, her 5th over. She's been very good in this game. Obviously, you can understand the last game being her first, her debut game. A little nervous. Took a little time to settle down. But here, in the second ODI, she's been very, very good with the line, with the length. Also got the ball to move, which is very difficult in these conditions.
In-swing bowlers, this is the line you need to try and bowl more often than not. Just around the off stump or slightly outside the off stump.
That's a very good point, because it's not just the pitching, but where do those balls finish? And if you look at that, most of them would finish on the stumps. That's what you want for an in-swing bowler, like you rightly mentioned, WV. At times, we just look at the pitching and forget where would the ball finish. And it is so different depending on what's your stock ball, what you bowl.
Do you also think having a close-in, a slip, because if you're looking at an in-swinger finishing on the off-stump or just about outside off-stump, there is a possibility of a nick like how Gabby Lewis dismissal. What about Deepti Sharma, who's right now currently next to the non-striker? What role does that position at the moment does?
On the helmet again. She's got a spicy bouncer. We've seen that in the first game and here as well. The second time she's hit. Now cool to Riley on the helmet, and this time was flush onto her helmet.
She's looking to be aggressive, but she's not gauging the pace or the bounce well enough. And as a result, she's getting pinged on the helmet. Flush, straight up. On the earlier occasion, it was on the side of the head, but here is chest straight ahead, head-on collision almost between the grill and the ball.
She seems to be all right. But this is definitely one of her strengths. Saili's bowling the short ball, bowling the bouncer. And even in one-day cricket, or rather white ball cricket, don't see too many bowlers use that one short ball or one bouncer every over that they're allowed to bowl.
Is going back to that short mid-on position that Deepti Sharma is staying, is perhaps placed there for an uppish drive of the inside half of the bat, or perhaps that fielder is placed there to make it known to the batter that she can't play an uppish on drive. It's all about letting the batters know a few things and see if that is going to be playing on their minds.
Just a single off the first ball from the over, 40 for 1 after 10. It's a very pleasant winter afternoon in Rajkot. It's quite windy as well. Yeah, managing only 40 runs in the first 10 overs, Ireland. Something they may have wanted to capitalize a little more. Did lose the wicket of the captain, Gabby Lewis. It's chalk and cheese, two very different stories. First innings 75 without loss, India.
$40 for 1 at the end of 10 overs on a spicy track might have been a good start, but doesn't look like a great start when a side is chasing 371. But at least there's some kind of foundation laid by Ireland on which they can capitalize and plan their chase.
A shortish point and a short extra cover to catching position. Now the inside half of the bat, something that you were talking about during the last over. That's the reason had a short mid-on for Saili.
Two different kind of bowlers. Saima Tako bowls more of outswingers, whereas Saili Sadgare bowls more of in-swingers.
Trying to overhit again. Coulter Riley losing her shape, trying to hit too hard, using the bottom hand way too much.
One would have imagined that she would have picked up a thing or two watching Harleen and Jemima Rodriguez bat in the morning. They also struggle for timing in the early part of their innings because they're looking to hit the ball hard. But now she's got the pace that she can make use of. Ball is coming on nicely to the bat and they're looking to bowl quick. Both Saima and Saili, the Mumbai medium pace pair.
I think both of them have understood where they need to pitch. Their length is very good. They might differ a little bit trying to bowl into the batter sometimes, but the length is so important with the field that she has now of catching.
The channel outside off stump. She did that very well in the first ODI as well. Very disciplined with the line.
Yeah, very confident, and she's got a very good attitude as well. She backs herself. And she's making the ball fizz and bounce a bit more than the others.
After 14 balls, she gets off the mark with that single. Now 42 for 1 after 11.
जो प्यार था,
Will you marry me?
उसने धोखे का मतलब सिखाया। तारा, आज तुमने शिवा की मासूमियत को ही उसका गुनाह बना दिया, जिसका हिसाब ये अभिमन्यु लेगा। मैं तुम्हें बर्बाद कर दूंगा तारा।
Yeah. Smashed in for 6, big bombs, Myers and a go. Richardson knocks him over.
KFC Big Bash League, 15th December to 27th January.
Yeah, into the attack. Picked up a couple of wickets in the last game. It was a tad bit expensive. You can expect that from the wrist spinner. Wicket-taking bowlers, but every now and then they're going to give away a few runs. The economy of 6, 13 wickets in 8 previous matches. She was on hat-trick last game. Starts off with a slip in place. Swept well. Got protection for that shot in the deep.
Prefers to bowl a lot of wrong ones to right-handers, and also has the tendency of bowling them quicker through the air. She's perhaps aiming for a leg before or a bowl of the wrong ones.
Good running. Played with soft hands. Had to rush a little bit in the end.
The young spinner, she can improve more on getting control of her stock balls, because if you have more control the wrong ones usually she bowls really well, has more. She is more accurate with that. But this is, it's pitched too short. In the tendency, as you rightly said, trying to bowl flatter, he sometimes pitches too short.
That was way too short. It was easy pickings for the batter. Coulter Riley looking to be aggressive, picked the length quickly enough and just clubbed it over the mid-wicket fielder. She'll be far better off as far as accuracy is concerned if she stays a bit away from the stumps. She's getting a bit too close to the stumps for a leg spin. Facilitate her accuracy when she bowls the wrongs, especially.
Nicely pitched up this time. Top edges it. It's all right, will fall safely. But this was much better, a lot slower in the air it seemed. Especially for a wrist spinner as young as her, you've got to give her some time to get into the game. Maybe an over or two.
No doubt at all.
Nicely bowled. Very well bowled, the last one. 7 from that first over, 49 for 1. Nice repetitive action. Runs in little quickly, maybe might want to slow down. But something that she might want to work on is trying to keep a little more upright at the point of release. She falls too early. We'll get a single, but again, she's trying to overhit the inside half of the bat. That single 50 comes up. Just going back to Priya's action, maybe something that she might want to look at. Got some really good coaches in that dugout.
It's always about the alignment when you talk about the delivery stride. And we're talking about the leg spinner here. Runs in straighter. Look at the final stride. See where the left leg goes right across the body. And the arm delivers the ball from around number 1 position on the face of a clock. And that's the reason why she's got to bowl the wrong one quicker. If she can stay away from the stump, she can be a lot more accurate.
That's a good shot. Very well timed. Should give a lot of confidence to Forbes. A boundary after a very long time.
Well-timed shot. The line was way outside off stump, giving her enough room to punch it through that air region. Despite having a fielder on the boundary, Tejas Hasabnis, she still managed to get to the rope.
It's such a satisfying shot, isn't it? There's a fielder out there in the deep, yet you find the boundary.
The most satisfying would be the fielder chasing it till the boundary, and just not 1, maybe 2 or 3.
I know another batter or 2 who think the same. They belong to different generations, though. I tell you, all you acclaimed batters, torturers in your minds you are.
The best part is she doesn't mind running herself.
I'm putting in the yards in the training session. Might as well display it when people are looking.
Yeah, but need a few big overs now. You don't want that required run rate to get out of control. It's 8.5, which in itself is quite high. Talking about 50 over games. A slow delivery back of the hand. 6 runs from that over. 55 for 1.
That's big enough. Mr. 360 in full flow. A sparkling Sanju Samson. Fantastic. Tilak Verma.
It's England into the batting lineup. This should be quite a contest.
India versus England. First T20I, 22nd January. Only on Disney Plus Hotstar and Star Sports.
मोहब्बत का फरेब करके जैसे तुमने मुझे बर्बाद किया था, वैसे ही मैं तुम्हें बर्बाद कर दूंगा तारा। अब कदम मेरा अगला देखना। प्यार तो देखा, अब मेरा बदला देखना।
Last over.
Bit of excitement. Must have picked something on its way to the keeper. A wrong one once again from the wrist spinner.
Must be off the pad. Usually, she's extremely good on the field. It's a tough one. Came out of the middle.
She dragged it from outside off stump. Typical leg spin ball.
Just nudging it away on the onside. Picking the wrong one this time around. She got a bit of a tangle there, Jemima Rodrigues, as she braced up to get ready to field. The stance became far too wide.
I also thought it came quicker than she was expecting. Couldn't get her hands in the right position. A little too high. But then a much better over this one. More consistent with her length. She has this tendency of dragging every now and then one shot. Oh, fair bit of turn. Fair bit of turn.
Such a delight to see an orthodox leggy. Nicely tossed up, bit of depth on the batter, and then deviates after pitching. No wonder they're so difficult to bat against.
Just a single from that over. 56 for 1 after 14. And time for a hydration break.
That's big enough. A 6 to sky. Mr. 360 in full flow. What a shot. That is just power. 8 sixes in this century. Banged away. Tilak Verma. That's out of the ground. Emphatic India.
India versus England. First T20I, 22nd January. Only on Disney Plus Hotstar and Star Sports.
It's India who won the T20 World Cup. What's his moment like, Rohit?
Look, today it was. It's meant.
हमारा वर्ल्ड एलिमेंट से बना है। तो अब इमेजिन कर कि हर एक एलिमेंट एक इंसान के अंदर हो।
Ireland chasing a total of 371. A circumspect start from them. Sarah Forbes and Christina Coulter-Riley at the crease, combining for 24 runs so far. In the 14th over, Ireland see themselves at 56 for 1. The 1 wicket to fall so far in this innings. Gabby Lewis fishing outside off stump. Sally Sudbury has been on target today. Persisted with good lines, good lengths, and was rewarded with a fine tickle to Richard Ghosh, the keeper. 4 bowlers used so far by Team India. Sally Sudbury has been the pick of the bowlers. 5 overs, 1 maiden, 12 runs and a wicket. The wicket of Gabby Lewis, the captain. And Saima Thakur and Priya Mishra looking impressive as well. In that first innings, it was a good performance from the Indian batters. Jamima Rodriguez notching up her maiden century, 102 off just 91. Harleen Dio with 89, Smriti Mandana and Pratika Rawal with half centuries as well. 156-run partnership to start things off. Right after the drinks break, another bowling change. Deepti Sharma with the ball. Anjum Chopra, Isabel Joyce, join me in the comm box. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. 100th match for Deepti Sharma. 124 wickets to her name, so don't be fooled by the fact that she's the 5th bowler used. She's by far and away the most experienced.
When you look at the rest of the bowling lineup, all the other bowlers less than 10 games apiece. And Deepti Sharma with 100 now.
It's been a fruitful area, that, for Sarah Forbes, just in and around square leg. They've got 2 fielders out in that area. Only opting to have 3 fielders on the boundary, Deepti Sharma. Keeping a slip in place, keeping the pressure on.
Slow through the air, Deepti Sharma slowing it down, getting a little bit of deviation, ever so slightly off the surface.
It'll also be interesting to see how much turn can she extract, Deepti, from this track. She was effective, especially breaking the partnership in the last match. And Ireland was going well. At this point of time, she's trying to get the variations going in the very first over in terms of utilizing the different pace that she can offer the batters. Can she get the turn?
Tight over to start things off. 59 for 1.
It's India,
South Africa,
England, Australia.
It's the best teams in the world.
A battle of heavyweights. Biggest contest in all of sport.
Kept climbing. There was a hiccup in between when the 2 wickets fell. They got to 370.
She has such good variations. Priya Mishra That one was, I think, the one that she's trying to turn a little bit more. She tends to give it a bit more flight when she's looking to extract the actual leg spinner. And again, and short. Was it short of Deepti Sharma or did it reach her? Oh, none of the above. Option C. Just turned too much.
It did drop short of Deepti Sharma, but I thought there was bad on that. Very interesting. We'll have to watch that again. Well tossed up, drawing the batter forward off Richa Ghosh's pad. That was the deviation. And the wrong one.
Yeah, it can be difficult to pick the wrong one. You can just about see it in the grip, but also by the pace that she bowls. She tends to bowl maybe a little bit more quickly when she's bowling. And look, that's going to help the drift in for the leg spinner.
It's gone straight up, but overslip. And Deepti Sharma is in pursuit. They come back for a couple, and it runs away as well, so 4 runs.
If in doubt, have a hack. That's what's gone on there for Christina Coulter-Riley. She can't tell which way it's going, so she's played the sweep shot. It is a strength of hers, so you can forgive her for playing it. A bit too full for the shot, though. I have to think that was an opportunity, is what we immediately thought here. But the pace at which it was bowled meant it went over the keeper, and useful for.
Goes over the offside. Sweeper cover comes around and keeps it down. Oh, they take the second as well. Good running.
This is aggressive play from the Irish batters. Very aware as to what the bowler is trying to do. And she's not consistently bowling at line, Priya Mishra.
8 runs coming off that over. Ireland 67 for 1. .304 is what Ireland needs from here on in 34 overs. A tall task, a required run rate of 8.94. They're at 67 for 1. The good thing is they have wickets in hand. ...16 overs, 67 for 1 Ireland.
Well, it was always going to be a tall task to chase down. Currently, yeah, just above 4. They need to get from right now. They need to start scoring 9 and over. They scored 8 off the previous, and even that wasn't good enough.
Seemed to be a little too full for that sweep shot. But Anjum, Izzy, what is the best approach going forward for Ireland in this innings? They have just less than 34 overs left.
You just have to attack, that's all. You have to keep the scoreboard moving, do it the best possible manner in which you, as a batter, can manage. And somewhere, this kind of an innings that both these batters, or the ones to follow, try to construct, will just give them nice exposure. Yes, it's about winning the contest, but it's also about how do you approach a target, a stiff target like this.
And I think clarity of mind is so important in these kinds of situations, and that's something that this team does have. There's a very consistent message from all of the coaching staff that they want to play an attacking brand. That's what's been successful. They have had games where they've been dismissed for quite low totals, but definitely all-out attack. They won't be punished for that. When it comes to playing against Deepti, she usually has at least one and over that she tosses up. So I think it's maybe look for that one, try and play it over those two. We saw the two fielders were up when we saw the graphic there for the fields, and then get a single off every other ball at least.
Dot to finish, tidy over, just 2 runs off it, 69 for 1.
No teams that you can take lightly.
What a catch! Got him!
It's England, dangerous batting lineup.
Such a confident Indian side, just oozing with talent.
This should be quite a contest.
India versus England, first T20I, 22nd January, only on Disney.
It's a beautiful sight. Windy conditions.
Interesting how Priya Mishra approaches international cricket from here on. She was given a debut against the New Zealand team end of last year. Seen in the previous over as well how she can be very good with a regulation leg spin delivery, but relies more on the fact that she can offer the googly to the right-handers.
Cracking shot through the offside, gets to the pitch of the ball and finds a boundary.
Well, a clap from the keeper says that's what you're trying to do, but a little bit too full. Coulter Riley absolutely climbs into this one. Is right in her extra cover. She did just that. The power was all there. That's a beautiful stroke. Uses the full length of her arms.
Looks to replicate that, but over the fielder this time.
Well, this is the leg spinner on the left and the googly on the right. So the key to telling the difference, can you zoom in when you're at the striker's end and see that finger in front of the ball? That's the only indicator really for you to tell you that that googly is coming.
And she has no discernible tell before that either, in her loading, in her approach, in her run-up. There is no difference between the leg spin and the googly, which makes it even more difficult for the batters. Good fielding. An extra cover to keep it as a dot. 75 for 1. Fine touch. Deep square leg comes around. A couple runs added. But as a batter, are there certain drills you can do to start picking up that googly or the top spinner that a leg spin bowler is going to bowl?
Yeah, great question. Some of it is just training yourself to look more closely. Well, you can see that Deepti Sharma is almost trying to tempt Sarah Forbes over the top, mid-off, mid-on, up inside the ring. Big gap there as well between the two fielders on the leg side, but in between is a fielder in square leg on the one. But you can't get your coach to hold up a cone or hold up their fingers with numbers, ask you to say them as the ball's being bowled. That's one way to practice, just looking a little bit more closely. And the thing in the women's game is when you're coming up through the ranks historically, there haven't been that many spinners that do have those variations. So you don't get that practice as you're growing up. And then you hit the international scene and all of a sudden you've got to do it. So that's where some of the problem lies. So the more the women's game comes on, the better.
A gentle appeal from the wicketkeeper. It's going to be referred upstairs.
TV umpire to director, we have an umpire review for stumping. It's a fair delivery. Can you show me side on, please? Okay, foot's grounded there. Roll back. Just roll back a couple frames. So just roll back a little bit more. Just want to make sure that the foot is grounded. And just roll forward till it lights up. Yep, thank you. Satisfied that that is grounded and that's where it's lit up. I have a decision for the big screen.
All safe. Foot was behind the line. Ball grounded.
And not a bad shout that from Richard Gosh in the end. There was a moment when the foot was in the air. It would have been a terrible look for Sarah Forbes had it been the wrong time.
Quick single. Gets there easily. Good running between the wickets, good communication and good response from Sarah Forbes as well.
Yeah, they are not missing out on an opportunity of collecting a single or a boundary. That's been a good and a hallmark of this 46-run stand. Here again, as an example, non-striker off in a flash, and the striker responds.
They've applied themselves well. Yes, they're going at 4.14 and the required rate is in excess of 9. But they've tried to keep the tempo going. 78 for 1.
मोहब्बत का फरेब करके जैसे तुमने मुझे बर्बाद किया था, वैसे ही मैं तुम्हें बर्बाद कर दूंगा तारा। अब कदम मेरा अगला देखना। प्यार तो देखा, अब मेरा बदला देखना।
Smashed in for 6 bombs. Myers and go. Richardson knocks him over.
KFC Big Bash League, 15th December to 27th January.
370 is what India made in that first innings. All batters contributing. In response, Ireland see themselves at 78 for 1. With Sarah Forbes and Christina Coulter-Riley building a good partnership here, worth 46 so far.
Yeah, brilliant to have these two youngsters out in the middle together. Just 13 caps in ODI cricket between them before today. Sarah Forbes is currently on her top score in one-day international cricket right now. So every run she gets, she's beating her own records. It's always nice. Her previous best was 30.
But she's batted well. She's looked like a player who missed out on an opportunity in the first one-day international. She's come out after having fielded in the company of 10 others for 50 overs with a score of 370 piled up by India. The first ball where she was appealed against, reviewed it, and decision was overturned. From there, the way she's constructed her 37, she's looked in control. She's looked promising.
She's played according to the field as well. She's brought out some nice shots and kept this partnership going with Coulter-Riley.
as a young player touring India for the first time, the few things that you always notice. How is it that they're shaping up after the first success as an outing or a first failure? And then how are they countering the pace and the spin? More importantly, the spin. I think the way that she's offered the full face of the bat, the way she's targeted anything that's pitched outside off stump, and the way that the running between has happened earlier with Gabby Lewis and now with Coulter Riley, I think it's been very impressive.
Approaching 50 runs as a partnership. Sadhu's come back, bowled tightly here, nice tight lines, just cramping Coulter Riley up a little bit.
The sound off the bat resonates through the stadium as the ball finds the boundary.
And this is another thing. You have a set batter or a one doing well in the form of Forbes at one end, and Coulter Riley, who's walked in. She's up with the challenge. It might not be that the 9 or 10 run average that they're maintaining or not, but it's the way that they're approaching this chase individually as batters, dancing down the track to hit the ball through that extra cover region and get to that 50 partnership is very good.
Gets the outside edge. Great effort there, Priya Mishra. With the diving stop, keeps it down to 2. 20 overs done, 85 for 1. City of Rajkot playing host to these 3 one-day internationals between India and Ireland. A fantastic city, a fantastic venue. Some high-scoring encounters here. And the snacks are out as well. It is a Sunday, crowds are in, snacks are out. Entertainment is aplenty. And this second wicket partnership worth 53. Both these batters, Sarah Forbes and Christina Coulter Riley, now have their highest scores in one-day internationals. That shows they're learning plenty. Yes, one game, just the second, they've already improved.
Previous best for Coulter Riley, 24. Forbes was 30. So each of them matching each other, you'd have to say, since Coulter Riley took 15 balls to get off the mark, but since then she's taken the game to the Indians.
Yeah, they're learning on the get-go and applying themselves well. Deepti Sharma, plenty of experience. Priya Mishra with her googlies, her change-ups.
And I think previously when Irish teams have come to conditions like we have in India, you just didn't have the tools to know how to counteract what you were coming up against. But there's a good tool from Christina Coulter Riley, not where she was planning on hitting it, but good innovation.
And that shot is a prime example that Deepti Sharma has not been able to get that rhythm going. She's just putting the ball there. She's not bowling the ball.
Through the gate. Full delivery. And she finds timber. Deepti Sharma with her first wicket today.
Well, that's disappointing for Sarah Forbes. 38 on the board. She would have been hoping to go on, but this is the fuller one from Deepti Sharma. And you cannot sweep that delivery. Don't care how good a sweeper you are. Have to play that straight. Maybe a bit of preconceived notions from Sarah Forbes, but she heard the death rattle And Deepti Sharma, as she so often has done before, claims another victim, her 124th. Sarah Forbes goes. She's the second for Ireland. She's gone for 38 from 63. Ireland 87 for 2.
It's India who win the T20 World Cup. What's this moment like, Rohit?
Look. Today it was. It's meant.
Orla Prendergast makes her way out at number 4. Played some nice shots in that first ODI, but her stay was cut short. But already making waves. Some impressive knocks. 100 in 2024. Starts with solid defensive stroke. 87 for 2.
It's India, South Africa,
England,
Australia.
It's the best teams in the world.
A battle of heavyweights. Biggest contest in all of sport.
Tita's back into the attack. Almost 10 now, the required run rate. 9.8 to be precise. A new batter in, Telecast. She's a free-flowing batter. Loves playing her shots. Would be a lot of it would be on to her to up the ante here, change of gears for the innings.
The response to the challenge of chasing a huge target can't be termed as threatening by any means so far from Ireland, but it has been spirited. Even though they lost the second wicket, they've stuck out there. They've not thrown the towel in too soon. They're still trying to make a fight out of it.
They have. There's no two ways about it. Again, very young side. As far as Ireland is concerned, learning, playing first bilateral series here in India. Conditions are quite alien. They did tour Bangladesh end of last year. They would find these conditions a little bit different. What do you want to see, especially for someone like Coulter Riley, now that she's been batting there for a while, to play a few more shots?
While these numbers may not make a great contest at times, the fact that sides are getting past the 350 is going to put a lot of fillip to the numbers that will be put up in women's cricket in the future, isn't it, Mithali?
I think yes, because we've seen the last few years the surfaces that the one-day games are being played, and the quality of batters we get to see from every team is just improving and increasing, and it is one way also of getting viewers and people to turn up to the stadiums to watch. And if you have consistently score around 270, 300 and go over 300 mark, and if the teams end up chasing in contest there.
Yeah, the numbers have been on the up and up in the last 5 years. If you take it in blocks of 5 years, 2020 to 2025, the numbers are definitely on the up and up in both the formats, be it the T20 variety or the 50-over format. You are getting to see bigger numbers on a regular basis.
Cully in place for the new batter. Well defended. 90 for 2. For the Indian calendar, Indian women's cricket, 5 ODIs, 5 T20Is. We are against Ireland, including this one, 2 ODIs. Then got the series versus England in England. And I believe there is a series against Australia at home before the World Cup. As far as ODIs are concerned, or white ball cricket, there will be some T20Is as well in England and against Australia. Ooh, nicely bowled. Nicely bowled. Slow in the air, also getting the ball to dip a little bit. Deepti.
Crafty Deepti into a 5th over, conceded just 9 runs on a surface where the batters have relished getting runs comfortably enough. Experienced and the most effective of the Indian bowlers for a long time.
She's an absolute asset, Deepti. Can bat up the order, middle order, lower down. She can play the situation very well as a batter, then as a bowler as well. Extremely smart. She can bowl with the new ball, bowl at the death as well. And it's a fabulous fielder too. Oh, two end of the bat, gets away with it.
They'll go back for the second. It's only when she has the ball in her hands, when she's fielding inside the circle, she can be a bit of a problem for the keeper or for the bowler when she throws it with all her might.
No variations, Deepti. Doesn't change the line a lot, but the pace, the control over the length and line, immaculate from Deepti. Just 11 runs so far. It's the last over of a 5th. The last ball of a 5th, rather. That's a dot ball. It's 1 for 11 from 5. And what we were talking about, if you look at a pitch map, this game as well is a good illustration of what we are talking about. Control. The line, if you look at it, just outside off stump, but she varies with the length and the pace.
96% of the deliveries being in the good length area, and the consistency in line is what makes her a difficult proposition, because the line is mandatory in white ball cricket, length is variable.
That's the wicket which broke the partnership. Right, that was a fuller length delivery by Deepti. As you rightly said, someone who's very consistent in her line, with subtle changes in the length that she does, gets her the reward.
Good piece of timing, but straight to the fielder. She's got that gift of timing. Telecast, the first ODI as well, saw her playing some really good shots. We're talking about variation. Look at that, 107 is the fastest, slowest is 68. So difference of 40 k's is a lot.
That's fantastic.
Well, that's massive if you think about it. The fastest is 107 and the slowest is 68.
That's like knowing to drive a Formula 1 car at the same time, balance yourself cycling very slowly. Being able to do both those things.
Kept it that bit low, but again that intent from Telecast.
I think Tita's in her first spell, if you've seen with the new ball, was attacking more outside off stump. And now in a second spell, she's much better trying to bowl into the stumps, keeping a straight line. I think as a young fast bowler, one needs also to understand the phases. What sort of line and length would you bowl in the first 10 overs with the new ball, and then middle overs?
The bounce has been a tad bit variable. A good captaincy here. Straight away, the previous delivery keeping a little low, getting an extra fielder on the onside, encouraging the bowler to go wicket to wicket, target the stumps. She's been really good as the leader of this pack, Smriti Mandhana, and the first ODI here in the second as well, the way she's led the side. So much like her batting, isn't it? Calm and collected. She seems to be in control all the time.
Yeah, Tita Sadhu is the kind of bowler who likes to hit the deck hard, and she's developed a couple of variations as well. And look at the run up here, nicely balanced as she runs in, arms by her sides, and she runs in straight as well. A lot of elements which are really good, but it's only when she hits a delivery stride, she kind of stifles a non-bowling arm. If she were to thrust it forward, get it in the path of the batter, then she'll be a lot more quicker. At the moment, what she's doing now is to try and use the entire right shoulder to generate the pace. We'll come back to that. 93 for 2.
Yeah, 278 runs required from 26 overs. Yeah, the asking has gone up off 10 and over, 10 and a half. A change of fence for Priya. Again, really good captaincy. Got a slip in place for the new batter. Again, Priya has looked good as well in this game. A lot more in control, especially the length that she's bowled so far. Get a single here. The quicker one, the googly. And the Campa, great strike. It's the most number of fours in this match. Harleen Deol and Jemima both hitting 12 boundaries. Jemima obviously getting to her first ODI 100. Unfortunately for Harleen, she missed out on another one. Got out on 89.
Priya started bowling the right speeds. That's what is creating the doubts in the minds of the batter. You think they can play the slog sweep against the wrist spinner, but because she's bowling slower through the air, it's not easy to really execute a slog sweep with any kind of control.
Tejan was the fielder, but she was extremely close to the rope. I wonder if the third umpire might want to have a look at it. She feels it all right, but then the momentum takes her extremely close to that skirting. She's fine, she's fine. From that angle, she looks all right. You want to look at the opposite angle, this one. Yeah. Maintains a balance all right. Should be a couple of runs. And so it is.
But it's good to see Smriti constantly talking to Priya Mishra. She's a young leggy. Should want to know the field which she's comfortable with. When she's bowling googly and what sort of a field set she wants for her variation. Pretty proactive in going up to the bowler and having a chat. That helps greatly for a young spinner when she knows she has the confidence of the captain.
Especially for a spinner and as young as Priya. Huge help, huge bonus if the captain's on side. 25 overs gone, 97 for 2.
There are no teams that you can take lightly.
Oh, he's got him! Important catch! Oh, lovely shot. Have a look at them! Oh my God! What a catch!
Something needs to change here as far as Irish batting is concerned. A couple of good overs. They need that worm to go a little more towards the north. Siley into the attack for a 6th over. Very consistent this game. 1 for 12 in her first 5. She's also looked a lot more comfortable in this game. Last one was a debut. You can understand the nervous energy. It's a great opportunity for these young fast bowlers in the Indian setup. I think there are a few places up for grabs. Shaping it away from the right-hander. Got extremely close to those tram lines. Got away with that one. There was some good fielding. These are contenders for the Attenborough smart saves of the match. Even though Gavin Lewis would be a little bit disappointed with the outfield effort at times. Oh, big inside edge. Yeah, WB, you've been in that dressing room quite recently. Mithali, obviously you've been part of that dressing room for quite a while. How do you see the younger lot of, especially the fast bowlers? Obviously you've got Renuka who's been rested for this series. Pooja, not too sure where she stands with all the injuries, and recently I believe she's also got going through a rehab program. So how do you rate these new faster bowlers that both of you have seen?
They have a very good attitude from what I've seen. You talk about Saima Thakur, you talk about Sadgare, they seem to be having the right attitude. And as far as Renuka Thakur is concerned, she's jockeyed herself into the lead bowler. And Pooja Vasraka, if she is fit and if she's playing, she provides a lot of flexibility to the side. Because what's happened with her as a bowler is that she's come along nicely in the last 12 to 15 months. And that was a huge bonus for Team India. It was not the case prior to that when she was not really keen on bowling on a regular basis. She was picking and choosing. And of course, she was also suffering from a few injuries rather frequently. And that's the reason she didn't have the confidence to bowl on a regular basis. But she's come along nicely since then. But yet, the hunt should continue for medium pacers, because that's one particular department Team India needs to bolster, definitely. If they can find the right candidates, and if they can find 4 or 5 that can be a part of a side on a regular basis, then Team India is going to be the side to beat.
100 comes up for Ireland in this innings. And also looking at how this Indian team's been selected over the last few months, it seems like there's also intention of creating a pool of players. 26 overs gone, 100 for 2. India have 178 for 2 after 26. Mithali, your take on the new bunch of seamers that you've been seeing?
I think they're a good bunch of players. As WB sir has said, they get good attitude. But I think they require more game time. At the same, I feel that India definitely needs a fast bowler. Like in the current lot, Pooja Vastrakar has been the medium fast. She is the quickest, we can say. But we don't have an out-and-out fast bowler to say. We have seam bowlers. And it's another wicket.
Yeah, breakthrough. And this time it's Priya who picks up the wicket. Another flighted delivery outside off stump, enticing the batter to go over the infield, but only finding the field at mid-on.
Looking to go over the top, but she was dragging it from outside the off stump. Not enough elevation on that occasion. A simple, straightforward chance at mid-on. Good field placing from the bowler and the skipper, having a mid-on inside the circle. And that's the end of Prendergast, dismissed with 3. Ireland 101 for 3 as the leg spinner strikes.
They're gone for 3 of 13. It's 101 for 3 Ireland.
That's big enough. Mr. 360 in full flow. A startling Sanju Samson. Fantastic Tilak Verma.
It's England, dangerous batting lineup. This should be quite a contest.
India versus England, first T20I, 22nd January, only on Disney Plus Hotstar and Star Sports.
मोहब्बत का फरेब करके जैसे तुमने मुझे बर्बाद किया था, वैसे ही मैं तुम्हें बर्बाद कर दूंगा तारा। अब कदम मेरा अगला देखना। प्यार तो देखा, अब मेरा बदला देखना।
The most experience in that dressing room. Laura Delaney, 58 innings, more than 1,000 runs, 1,115. The strike rate of 60. She's got 100 against the name. But not the start she would have wanted to this series, getting out first ball in the last game. The same bowler. Ooh, almost. Almost.
Adventurous start from Delaney, moving across the stumps and looking to lap the leg spinner.
I think she thought that's the best way to counter the first ball. She's unable to pick the googly or a leg spin. It's a reflection of a batter with a lot of nerves playing her first ball.
The third wicket was picked up by the wrist spinner. The wrong one, too full, the length. Not the kind of delivery to be hit over the top. Swept away for a single. End the over. 103 for 3 Ireland.
हमारा वर्ल्ड एलिमेंट से बना है, जैसे वाटर, विंड, फायर एंड अर्थ। तो अब इमेजिन कर कि हर एक एलिमेंट एक इंसान के अंदर हो।
Yeah, 103 for 3. It starts there for Forbes and Lewis to a certain extent. But as of now, no big scores as yet.
I think that was the intent to get a boundary. So far they haven't got one, and she picked the fielder mid-on. As WV said, the ball was quite full. Couldn't come under the ball to get that elevation to clear mid-on. Another wicket, the googly.
Just 14 runs from the last 30 deliveries. Good placement there. Pierce the gap for a boundary here. She's looking good. You can see that intent, the sense of urgency, the way she's walked out to bat and the way she's walking around.
She's decided, Delaney's decided that she's going to be aggressive here. Charging down the track, getting inside the line, creating some room. A firm push into the gap, and the ball sped away to the boundary. Good use of the wrist, the bottom man coming into play at the right time.
Got more protection in the deep now. That's what these two teams are playing for. The IDFC First Bank Trophy. Littering. India ahead 1-0 in this 3-game ODI series. First bilateral series for Ireland in India.
The discipline showed by the Indian bowlers is laudable. They know they have a huge target set for the opponents, but yet they're not resorted to bowling like millionaires. They're stuck to their task, they kept it simple, and they've been disciplined. They're prepared to wait it out to make the batters resort to aggression and then get out, and that's how they picked up the 3 wickets as well. They pegged them back and then picked up wickets.
Another short delivery. It's 1 for the over. It's heartening to see a seam bowler who is using that option that seamers have to bowl that 1 for the over. Not too many people, not too many players do that in white ball cricket.
And all her short balls were body line. She's not really given too much room.
Need to rush. The direct hit, but she's made it seems. Don't think Vrinda Rathi would refer that to the third umpire. I don't think she has. So 110 for 3 after 28.
They like going after Priya Mishra. And they're successful at it as well. Boundary, the very first ball of a new over.
Full-blooded sweep from Coulter Riley. Well placed as well. Picks the googly. And her foot going straight towards the ball. So she's in a good position with her head leaning forward.
Well, if you possibly can, when you're sweeping, you love to get a full extension of the arms. So that was the perfect length. And the frustration for a spinner is it's usually your best ball, the best length that gets swept. And two fielders there on the leg side, but she managed to find the gap right between them. It's a pretty big gap. She has shown she can go forward of mid-wicket as well, so it's a hard one to place those two fielders on the leg side against Coulter Riley.
Just sweep your way out of the situation.
As if on cue. Goes over mid-wicket. A bit of a swat. But nicely played. Strong wrists coming through from Coulter Riley. Great placement.
A really good option, because that was the one that was outside off. So you're better off trying to go straighter, which is exactly what Coulter Riley did. .49 for Coulter Riley, just closing in, but she comes from the Clontarf Cricket Club, one of the international grounds in Ireland, so she's used to playing on very good batting wickets, which they're very proud of in Clontarf. They'll be very proud of Christina as well, because she's come right up through the ranks, coaches their colts and coaches their young players in the club.
Delaney with the paddle. And comes back for a couple. 121 for 3.
That's big enough. A 6 to Sky. Mr. 360 in full flow. What a shot. That is just power. 8 sixes in this century. Banged away. Tilak Verma. That's out of the ground. Emphatic India.
India versus England, first T20I, 22nd January, only on Disney Plus Hotstar and Star Sports.
Coulter Riley looking impressive. One more run and she's getting to a half century. I'm very impressed with this Coulter Riley, the way she has constructed her innings. Earlier it was Forbes, now it's Coulter Riley. It's very good signs for Ireland cricket.
And also change in position for her. Came lower down the order in that first ODI. Came in at number 3 today and has played extremely well.
And don't forget, she probably wouldn't have been playing. Wouldn't have been expecting it a few weeks ago. Amy Hunter was the keeping number 3 until this tour. She's got a stress reaction in her foot, so it's more precautionary than anything, her not being here. We hope she's recovering well. But Coulter Riley, well, talk about taking the opportunity.
There's a fielder, but she'll just pick that ball up from the boundary. Riley gets to her maiden half century. What an innings. In just her 4th international match outing.
Well, she kept on going with that pull shot, Christina Coulter Riley. Her first international 50. What a proud day for her family and for Coach Ed Joyce. It's put a lot of time in with her. 78 deliveries for it. She got pinned twice on the helmet. Doesn't stop her playing the pull shot to get across the line for her 50. Well played.
And this is after having kept for 50 overs. short ball, not going to be taking a step back to that. She's seen enough of it. There have been very few opportunities for this crowd to stand up and applaud the effect and the effort that these young players have put in. This is just one of that. Gabby Lewis, very pleased with Coulter Riley's effort today.
Well, I think that Christina Coulter Riley will be delighted, Anjum, that you pointed out just how fit she is. It takes huge pride in looking after herself. She takes a lot of interest in that. Middled 79%, beaten 17%, but she still goes after everything, so it doesn't perturb her too much.
As a young 21-year-old, you would expect that. Full fitness. 1-2-6 for 3. It's also the time where the players can have a drink.
There are no teams that you can take lightly.
Oh, he's got him! Important catch! Oh, lovely shot. Have a look at them! Oh my God! What a catch!
That's big enough!
Mr. 360 in full flow. Her sparkling Sanju Samson. Fantastic. Tilak Verma. It's England into the batting lineup. This should be quite a contest.
India versus England. First T20I, 22nd January. Only on Disney Plus Hotstar and Star Sports.
मोहब्बत का फरेब करके जैसे तुमने मुझे बर्बाद किया था, वैसे ही मैं तुम्हें बर्बाद कर दूंगा तारा। अब कदम मेरा अगला देखना। प्यार तो देखा, अब मेरा बदला देखना।
Smashed him for 6, big bombs. Myers and a go. Richardson knocks him over.
KFC Big Bash League, 15th December to 27th January.
Deadpool and Wolverine is the #1 movie in the world. I am Marvel Jesus. Bingo.
हमारा वर्ल्ड एलिमेंट से बना है, तो अब इमेजिन कर कि हर एक एलिमेंट एक इंसान के अंदर हो।
The elevation. So she misses out yet again. The story really has been India's batting. so many getting started, but it was only Jemima who could go on and make 3 figures. Ireland still have a mountain to climb. 245 required in 20 overs. Time to get things going in Ireland.
Just the fingertips of Saima Thakur. The aggression is on from these Irish batters.
Packs a punch there, Coulter Riley. Timed it sweet speed and just enough elevation to go over Saima Thakur.
I love the reaction from Deepti here. Has a wry smile. Not so the fielder.
And this sort of an innings can actually be taken or understood in 2 manners. One, of course, the fact that they're going after a stiff target which doesn't require them to hold themselves back. Or the other factor is that because they feel that it's probably a little too much to achieve, might as well go after the bowling. Might as well go and play a few shots which on another day you might hesitate.
I couldn't agree more. I do think that that's the way that Christina Coulter Riley plays. She plays an attacking brand. She generally plays T20 cricket more. Has not played much 50 over cricket, even in domestic cricket. So she's learning on the job and doing it with a smile on her face.
Brilliant stuff. Each shot is impressive more than the other.
Using her feet, going over mid-off, holds her shape so that it does go in that direction instead of pulling it towards long on. Ends up slicing it a bit, and that helps her.
I like the sound of the bat and the ball meeting.
Well, that shot over mid-off, that tells me a lot, because I've known Christina Coulter the order, and it's not a comfortable shot. And I think you can almost see that from the execution. She's much more comfortable sweeping, hooking, playing through the covers. So the fact that she's willing to take Deepti on is, first of all, brave, but also she feels that she's in enough that she can take it on.
Dropped, chance given, not taken by Deepti Sharma. 135 for 3.
हमारा वर्ल्ड एलिमेंट से बना है, जैसे वाटर, विंड, फायर एंड अर्थ। तो अब इमेजिन कर कि हर एक एलिमेंट एक इंसान के अंदर हो।
$135 for 3 Ireland, chasing 371 as a target. Saima Thakur. None for 14 in her 4 overs. Wow, this is some sort of an attack that these two batters have actually decided they will put on to anyone that's coming up against them.
Well, Deepti Sharma, she would hope to take those catches. I wonder, could she have gone with 2 hands? It almost came to her slower than she was expecting. No, wouldn't have got there. Pulling no punches again, Christina Coulter Riley. Another short delivery from Saima. And she gets onto it. Good running. Nora Delaney coming back for the second.
The way Coulter Riley is playing, it's also building good habits. going forward very early in her ODI career. She plays more of T20 cricket, but just building that aggressive mindset. Yes, the situation may not be in your favor, but put your best foot forward, always.
Few changes in the field. Smriti Mandhana just readjusting the fielders, strengthening the onside boundary riders, looking at the manner in which Coulter Riley has been smashing the ball around. And she picks an area where there is no protection. Very impressive batting this.
Well, the little fake to the leg side from Coulter Riley, it's almost a tell that she's going to play the shot. So if you can adjust, then you should. When you see her put that back foot across, it was the slower delivery as well. So she was made to wait. Great execution. Lots of questions being asked of the Indian bowlers about their field set. Yes, Ireland probably not going to chase down that total, but they won't want to keep conceding boundaries like this.
Georgina Dempsey, a contender for the SBI Life Apne Liye Apnon Ke Liye award, picked up one wicket at the ball and took one good catch as well in the field.
Better line with the back of the hand delivery from Saima Thakur. 1 for 1 for 3.
It's also India building good habits. Yes, they had a really good outing with the bat, 370 runs on the board. But if games get tight, how do they react to that? With their bowling, defending any score.
$141 for 3. 12.78 is the required run rate. Deepti Sharma could have taken a wicket last over. Cotton Bold could have been there for her, but she dropped it. Laura Delani hasn't had a lot of strikes since the time she's walked in. It's been the Coulter Riley show. Getting to a half century and progressing nicely.
Well, completely different to Coulter Riley. Laura Delaney also almost compulsively comes down the pitch. Very much will be pleased to see mid-off and mid-on inside the ring as she feels she can head it over their heads. So want to push them back and maybe look to then turn the strike over and let Coulter Riley do most of the hitting.
Kind of hitting we saw from Harleen Deol and Jemima Rodrigues in the first innings. They took their time to getting to their half centuries, but once they did that, both of them were absolutely in top gear.
That's a new element that Laura Delaney has added to her game. In the last year or so, she's never really swept before. So she knows she has to add it to her game, especially coming to India and Bangladesh. She worked on it very hard, so that's another box ticked for her. And when you look at this target, 371, I'd imagine Ireland aren't trying to reach that at this point, but India did score 170 in the last 20 overs of their innings. With 2 set batters, if you count Laura Delaney as set, maybe they can look to...
Deepti Sharma really slowing it down. Her initial few overs, 70-75 is what she was bowling. Now she's down 66, 67, 65. The batters now need to generate that power, whether it's with the sweep or using their feet to come down the track to create that momentum.
I'd imagine Freya Sargent is watching from the sideline with interest at just how Deepti Sharma goes up and down the speeds, just what she does to try and keep the batters from scoring boundaries.
One for three for three.
It's India who win the T20 World Cup. What's this moment like, Rohit?
Look. Today it was. It's meant.
Getting to a 5:30 p.m. Close in on that. As Saima Thakur continues. Jemima Rodrigues' run from deep extra cover to long on. And she had a lot of running to do for her maiden 100.
It was a fantastic effort. 102 for her. Her maiden ODI century. Exceptional. Good footwork. Brilliant balance. An emotional moment for any batter. They raised their bat for a century for the first time.
A wonderful moment, but then, as always, the clown comes out at the end. You just can't keep her down, can you? But she did take a moment to really take it in.
Maiden 100 after 41 innings in international cricket for Jemima Rodrigues. That's why she said it's a big relief getting to that 100. She's right on top of that Dream 11 top 5 fantasy players as well, followed closely by Harleen Deol, Christina Coulter-Riley in that list as well.
What I find really interesting, just having a look at the pair that's out in the middle, Laura Delaney, if you haven't met her, she's quite quiet when you first meet her, but she is the most competitive human being on the planet, I would almost say. She is in competition about everything, and it just means that she'll be in competition with Christina Coulter-Riley, who's down the other end. Fourth game. Beautiful strike there, and that's a real area of strength from Laura Delaney. You cannot offer her width. So strong through the point region. Just drop the bat on it and watch the ball sail to the rope. 150 up with that strike, and Laura Delaney, a big smile on the face.
Just eases that through point. Plays it nice and late to create that angle, to beat both those fielders. Very nicely done.
Well, there are a lot of players making a lot of noise in domestic cricket and in international cricket. We've just seen Jemima get to 100. Last game, Tejal Hasabnis getting to a half century. One youngster, a 14-year-old Ira Jadhav, a young player, has just smashed 346 not out for her Mumbai under-19 team in a 50-over contest. 42 boundaries, 16 sixes against Meghalaya. No, she's not on the team to Malaysia. She's not going to be yet on the list, as India has already picked that squad, but she's a standby for the upcoming under-19 Women's World Cup. a 14-year-old Ira Jadhav, 346 not out.
That was an unbelievable innings from Ira. I had the opportunity of watching her in their domestic games, and she was mighty, mighty impressive. Just the way she bats. 151 for 3. Partnerships for Ireland today. Forbes and Lewis combining for 32. Forbes and Coulter Riley 55. That was a good partnership before it was broken, and Prendergast joined Coulter Riley. And now Delaney and Coulter Riley with a 50-run partnership at better than run a ball.
Pratika Rawal now. This is good for the Indian team. Just testing out all the options available and giving an opportunity to everyone around, as many players as possible.
Not that comfortable on the sweep floor, Delaney, but I think she finds the lap a little bit more easy to adapt. She has to preconceive the shot, so gets in position early. Probably wasn't the easiest ball to play in that position, but she practices it a lot. I was saying earlier, she's really competitive. She won't want to watch Christina Coulter-Riley smacking it from down the other end. So I think that that's actually a good thing for Ireland, that she's almost in competition, like we saw from Jill and from Jemima.
She's pulled out the lap on a couple of occasions, changes the grip on the bat just as the bowler gets into their delivery stride, getting ready for the lap. Watches it like a hawk onto the face of her bat. You see that bottom hand sliding down. Gives you better control to play that lap.
Well, that fielder comes up inside the ring for Coulter-Riley. She has played the lap, but mainly to the seamers. They've opted to have long off out for her instead because she's looking to move her feet. Cover comes in, so she has to keep it nice and tight here, Pratika.
Richa Ghosh, is she asking a question to the bowler or to the umpire?
Always enthusiastic behind the stumps, Richa Ghosh, but very well bowled from Pratika Rawal. Good line, a little bit of extra bounce as well on that occasion.
I reckon that appeal means that you don't ask Richa Ghosh for the reviews in future. That's the end of that over. 155 for 3 Ireland.
जो प्यार था,
Will you marry me?
उसने धोखे का मतलब सिखाया। तारा, आज तुमने शिवा की मासूमियत को ही उसका गुनाह बना दिया, जिसका हिसाब ये अभिमन्यु लेगा। मैं तुम्हें बर्बाद कर दूंगा तारा।
Smashed in for 6, big bombs, Myers and a go. Richardson knocks him over.
KFC Big Bash League, 15th December to 27th January.
155 for 3, 15 more overs to go. There's been some intent as far as this partnership's concerned. 54 of 53, going better than Roller Ball. The family of some of the Irish players. If I'm not wrong, that Gabby Lewis is dad there. Enjoying the environment here. And why not? Music, the colour, Rajkot. It's a lovely day to play cricket. It's pleasant, windy, temperatures the early 20s. Right, Saima back into the attack. 6 overs so far for 28. A good performance from the Indian bowlers. A steady performance. Third inside the circle. Starts off with a slower delivery.
Good grit and purpose shown by Coulter Riley. She copped a couple of blows on the helmet at the start of her innings, but that's not deterred her to hang in there and do what she can do best, that of getting runs. She's played a good hand here for Ireland.
She's starting to play some shots now as well. Like you said, got hit in the helmet a couple of times very early in the innings. It's been a great day for the Indian batters. The top 3 getting half centuries, number 4 getting 100. And Harleen Deol, what a story. Usually a middle order batter, been asked to bat at number 3, and she's made that position her own. 100 in the previous series against West Indies, 89 here. She's looking set for another 100. Started off slowly like she usually does and then picked it up. Good news for an Indian side which is still kind of looking for the right players in the right position. An experiment which has worked for the Indian side, Harleen at 3. And obviously there will be bigger challenges coming up this summer in England, against England and the World Cup. Oh, that smash, but straight to the fielder. Thinking of a second here because of that fumble. Delaney as well, almost run a ball. Ever since he's come out to bat, in this sense of urgency, looking to score runs every delivery. Something like this. Nicely bowled.
As far as the batters from Ireland are concerned, they'll look to try and spend as much time as possible out in the middle because it's so important to get a feel of different bowlers in international cricket. They'll come in handy somewhere down the line. It's about getting a feel, getting to know the kind of variations bowlers from different nations throw at you when you're up against them. It's all about gaining familiarity.
Finishes the over with a slower as well. 4 from that over, 159 for 3. The lights are switched on, the floodlights. The shadows getting longer. Outside half of the bat. Get some runs here. 4 of them.
Good to see Pratika getting a few overs, because usually when you need to break a partnership and you've already utilized 5 of your main bowlers, you can always get that not part-time bowlers to get you the breakthrough. And good to have a batter who can give you few overs.
Yeah, that'll come in very handy. is something that everybody is looking for, both in the men's and the women's teams. 5-6 overs, and if they can have somebody to do that, it'll come in handy. But Rahul has got a decent action going. Harmanpreet Kaur used to bowl at a certain time, but then an injury to a shoulder put paid to whatever hopes the team had and she had about rolling her arm more regularly.
We also have Harleen who can bowl leg spin. He used to bowl again because after coming back from surgery, usually when you have to bowl, there are a lot other joints come into action. So maybe we've not seen her much. Jemima also bowls off spin, has bowled few overs in the test and in the one-dayers.
A fall shot. That's good running. Easily completes the second. Well, there are a few options. Not too sure Harleen post the surgery whether she's going to bowl as much as she used to.
You're talking about Harleen. There's a bit of confusion as far as she was concerned about herself and for the others as well, because when she was bowling, she was played around 6 or 7, at 6 or 7. And she was played fairly sporadically in the 11. Now that perhaps she can be secure about a spot for the time being, she might probably start looking at bowling once again with a lot more confidence than she did before.
Also, now that she's a top order batter, like you rightly said, the pressure as a bowler is off her. So you're not also looking for a full quota of 10 overs. What you're looking at is maybe 3-4 overs. 8 runs from that over, 167 for 3.
जो प्यार था,
Will you marry me?
उसने धोखे का मतलब सिखाया। तारा, आज तुमने शिवा की मासूमियत को ही उसका गुनाह बना दिया, जिसका हिसाब ये अभिमन्यु लेगा।
Have we met before?
Have we? मोहब्बत का फरेब करके जैसे तुमने मुझे बर्बाद किया था, वैसे ही मैं तुम्हें बर्बाद कर दूंगा तारा।
The ODI career for the playing 11 in this game. Harleen, a couple of wickets for her, Jemima 5, but obviously looking at Deepti Sharma, the most experienced in this lineup as far as bowling is concerned, and even otherwise. This is her rather 100th ODI game. 125 wickets for her. But what you're looking at was there. Definitely there is a possibility with Pratika bowling now. Harleen has bowled in the past. Jemima as well. So I'm sure you'd find around 8 to 10 overs in the top 4, top 5. Priya. Nicely bowled, slow in the air. And perfect line as well, just outside off stump.
Top order batter contributing with the ball cannot be overemphasized, because the last time Team India won the 50 over World Cup, it was the top order batter who bowled and got wickets and was the man of the series. Especially when the World Cup is played in the subcontinent.
So I think that gives option to the captain as well. If you have especially a batter who can bowl spin, whether off or leg, doesn't matter, but if she can contribute with few overs, and I think that's where Australia as a team is way ahead, because they have an option about 7 to 8 bowlers. You know, pretty much top order anybody can come and roll the arm.
Just so that I don't leave it up in the air, I was referring to Yuvraj Singh being the man of the series when India regained the World Cup in 2011.
That World Cup that we're talking about is end of this year. We played here in India. India is qualified. Ireland need to qualify.
Well, talking about Yuvraj Singh, we do have Tanuja Kanwar in the dugout who's a left-arm spinner and also a left-hand bat. Maybe, if you happen to see her the third ODI, it's someone you can have a look at.
Also, Minamani showed a lot of promise in a few games that she's played in the recent past.
So it's quite evident, looking at last year or so, there is a good pool of players there to choose from. Maybe that wasn't the case a few years ago. Oh, thick outside edge it seems. Nope. Given us byes. 38 overs gone, 172 for 3. Yeah, 199 runs needed from 72. It was always going to be difficult. 371, the highest that India's ever made in ODI cricket. 370 in this game. Geetha's back into the attack. And going back to that conversation of batting order and who to bat, the other options that Indian team's got. A big believer of having a left-hander at least, or mix up that middle order with left hand and right hand. And if you look at the current batting order, and even when Harman gets back, another right-hander, you don't have a left-hander in the top 5, apart from obviously Smriti. I wonder if the Indian team's also thinking on those lines, getting someone like Tanuja, or maybe even deeply up the order.
I think Tanuja could be more of a lower order bat, but maybe Deepti Sharma, or there's also Yastika Bhatia. But again, it is the Indian think tank, whether they want their keeper to be a finisher, they can feed in Richa Ghosh, or they want the wicket keeper batter to go up the order, then they have Yastika Bhatia. It's a choice that the Indian team would. Top 5 barring Smriti Mandana, I think they're all right-handers. You would want to have one left-hander there for that lefty-righty combo.
And also most of the teams would have a left-arm spinner. And suddenly you have a left-hander there along with a right-hander. That makes life difficult for the bowlers then.
The other option is to try and create a surprise by giving license to Pooja Vastrak and send her up the order. Because she can obviously bowl. She's bowling a lot better now. Instead of not utilizing her batting ability later in the order, you might give it a go and make her the floater. That's one of the options that are available. But of course, it's early days yet. They got to try and zoom in on the likely candidates that will make up the squad later on for the World Cup. But the important thing is that there are options that the team management can look at.
Top edge. Got lucky there. Push over Richard Ghosh's head for a boundary. There's nothing you can do as a bowler. It's a wry little smile there.
Whoever said that you'll always get a just reward in cricket? You don't. You bowl a good delivery, sometimes you end up conceding a boundary.
Also got to give credit to Delaney. The way she's batted, coming out and playing her shots. She definitely deserves a bit of luck. No two ways about it. On the other side, Krishna Coulter-Riley. This is the highest score in ODI cricket by an Irish wicketkeeper. She's batted really well. 79. She's batting on. Another young talent coming through the ranks. Six from that over, 178 for 3.
हमारा वर्ल्ड एलिमेंट से बना है, जैसे वाटर, विंड, फायर एंड अर्थ। तो अब इमेजिन कर कि हर एक एलिमेंट एक इंसान के अंदर हो।
.370 is what India got, batting first. 100, her maiden ODI 100. Jemima 102 of 91. Herleen amongst runs. Smriti, Pratika.
I think Delaney definitely showing an intent to go big, just push the run rate. Coulter Riley there, she needs to step up a little more, slow down a little bit. Do understand the lower ranked teams don't usually play too many ODIs because of the franchise leagues everywhere, the T20 World Cup every once in 2 years. The emphasis is more on the shorter format. Up in the air, ball short of the fielder. But when you get an opportunity, when you appear in these one-day games, you try and make the most of when you get a start.
I like the way the leg spinner is bowled and also the way she's been used by a skipper.
That should be a boundary. A loose delivery. She bowled really well the first three. This one, a long hop. But placed it really well, Delaney.
I wonder who's timed it badly, me or Priya.
A drag shot. And there was a feeler in the deep. She did well to find the gap. And she looks so much better when she bowls a little slower in the air. And also because she's kind of new in this setup and also very young, I don't think she's found the right pace to bowl. Every bowler has their own ideal pace. I'm sure she's going to figure that out real soon. Nicely bowled this one. 40 overs gone, 184 for 3. It's been a good partnership. Run a ball, 83 runs between Delaney and Coulter Riley. It's an opportunity for Coulter Riley to get to 3 figures. Oh, spoke too early. Spoke way too early and jinxed it. Just looking good. Stepped out but missed the ball completely.
Cheta Sadhu does the right thing here, bowled the right length so that the ball went on to hit the stump. So important to get your line right and the length as well. And that's exactly what Cheta Sadhu has done. He wasn't faced by the fact that the bat was charging at her. She stuck to the basics and she gets a reward. End of a fantastic innings from Coulter Riley. She's dismissed for 80. She's looking to score runs quickly enough. And she perishes in the pursuit. Dismissed for 80, Ireland 184 for 4.
मोहब्बत का फरेब करके जैसे तुमने मुझे बर्बाद किया था, वैसे ही मैं तुम्हें बर्बाद कर दूंगा तारा। अब कदम मेरा अगला देखना। प्यार तो देखा, अब मेरा बदला देखना।
हमारा वर्ल्ड एलिमेंट से बना है। तो अब इमेजिन कर कि हर एक एलिमेंट एक इंसान के अंदर हो।
Beautiful picture, that sun setting. This wonderful Niranjan Shah Stadium. A new batter in. Leah Paul just 3 runs away from 1,000 runs in ODI cricket. She's got 100, and one of those 750s came in the last game. Change of angle coming round the wicket. Only left-hander in the top order for Ireland. Straight away gets off the mark.
The fall of Coulter Riley, trying to make room for a ball which was hitting the stump, completely missed the line. There's no way close to the ball.
The mark.
The fall of Coulter Riley, trying to make room for a ball which was hitting the stump, completely missed the line. There's no way close to the ball. Someone who's all set. Quite disappointed. But she played a good knock, good partnership with Delani.
Yeah, Coulter Riley, top innings from the young 21-year-old wicketkeeper. Well constructed, obviously slow in terms of the context of the game. Yeah, but then it wasn't, if you look at an overall 80 of 113, it's not that bad. And also somebody as young as that, getting those 80 runs, playing in India for the first time, it's a top effort.
She started wearing a pace as Sadhu. When she first burst into the scene out of the Under-19 World Cup, she used to just come and bang the ball into the pitch. But obviously she's realized that the international stage, you've got to develop your craft as well. You can't be just relying on pace all the time. And it's so good for a youngster to pick up these little nuances as quickly as she's done.
I wouldn't get to here. But to your earlier point, Mithali, about India looking for that out-and-out quick bowler, and looking at Peters, you just get a feeling, strongly built, good strong action. If she wants, she can actually improve on her pace as well. Maybe go back to what she was doing earlier on, coming in and trying to bowl quick. Now that she has the other side sorted as well, the line and length, the consistency bit. A successful over comes to an end. 187 for 4.
हमारा वर्ल्ड एलिमेंट से बना है, जैसे वाटर, विंड, फायर एंड अर्थ। तो अब इमेजिन कर कि हर एक एलिमेंट एक इंसान के अंदर है।
no teams that you can take lightly.
Our partnership with Delaney was quite impressive. Adipti back into the attack. 1 for Train to in her set. Could have been 2. Dropped the catch of her own bowling. Tough one. She played this shot so well in the first ODI as well, and with that single, she gets to 1,000 ODI runs. That's a big milestone. A 7th Irish player to do that, and a first left-hander to achieve that milestone. 1,000 ODI runs for Leah Paul. That's Leah's family there, I guess, sister. Yeah, something to rejoice about for sure. But that looks close. Yeah, that's given. That's given. She's taken a review, but I'm afraid she might lose that.
TV Umpire 2 Director, we have a player review for LBW. Original decision was out. It's a fair delivery. Can we start the front on vision, please? Okay, ball passes close to the bat. Can we go to Ultra Edge, please? Verinda, we're just waiting on Ultra Edge. Okay, clear gap there, clear gap there. Next frame, clear gap, roll through. We just roll that through one more time. There's a lot of murmurings, but I can see clear gap, so I just want to roll through one more time. From there, gap there, yep, next frame. You see a gap there, and just take it past the gloves. Keep going. Yep, thank you. Satisfied there is no bat involved. If you can move on to ball tracking when ready, please. Copy, still building ball tracking. Pitch outside off, impact in line and wickets is hitting. So I'll get Verinda to stay with your original decision, stand by, and your on-screen signal now.
The right decision there. Was hitting the stumps. And that would mean Melanie, she's got to go back now. 37 of 36. A well-compiled innings. Another wicket for Deepti Sharma. She's lost a wicket. She's also lost the review. Gone for 37. And Ireland are 188 for 5.
It's England, dangerous batting lineup.
Such a confident Indian side, just oozing with talent.
This should be quite a contest.
India versus England, first T20I, 22nd January, only on Disney Plus Hotstar and Star Sports.
A crew of murderous pirates is coming.
I'll get you home. We'll make a partnership. I need you to take the controls.
Okay. Neil?
Olin Kelly, the new batter. Oh, chipped in the air. The fourth innings on this surface, holding up a little bit this pitch now. Olin Kelly, strike rate of 60, 25 innings. She's got 321 ODI runs. It flicked something.
Deepti Sharma bowling a straighter line and keeping it very tight. Reaping rewards because of that. This is how she picked up the last wicket as well. But this one was turned down.
Getting a little more help from the surface now, Deepti. Fourth innings. 3 days. The same pitch which was used for the first ODI. Wicket and couple of singles from this over. 189 for 5.
It's India,
South Africa,
England, Australia.
It's the best teams in the world.
A battle of heavyweights. Biggest contest in all of sports.
Possibly going down leg side. Titash Sad. Keeping umpire Virender Sharma interested. Both the teams have lost both their reviews, so they have to rely on the umpire's decision making. Shivani, clearly there was an inside edge, and Issy won't be complaining at all.
Absolutely, a big inside edge, and Titash immediately indicating that as well. So she saw it. But this is a beautiful sight here in Rajkot, the sunset. We're driving from the airport to the hotel just the day before the game, and it was a beautiful sunset. And yet again.
Class. This is excellent ball striking from Arlene Kelly.
Very much her strength down the ground. She'll poke about when it's a little bit shorter, but give her the length she wants, and she's got a brilliant change of pace with the bottom hand coming through at the bottom of the swing. And she just accelerates right here, just in front of her front pad. That gets the elevation and forces a change in the field.
It's almost like the flexion extension in a golf shot through the hitting zone. where the wrist is cocked at the top, and then you release that wrist, and that creates that acceleration through the hitting zone.
There are a lot of positives that will come out of this contest for Ireland, even though the required score is 177 that they require, but this ability of striking the ball, the confidence of dancing down the track and advancing to whether the spinners or the seam bowlers, I think they will really be pleased looking at this.
And just the fact that they can put it out of their minds as well, that there's been such a gap in the scores, and continue to take the game to India.
$195 for 5.
That's big enough. A 6 to sky. Mr. 360 in full flow. What a shot! That is just power. 8 sixes in this century. Banged away. Tilak Verma. That's out of the ground. Emphatic India.
India versus England. First T20I. 22nd January. Only on Disney Plus Hotstar and Star Sports.
Deepti Sharma. She took the wickets of Laura Delaney. Well, she just needs one more wicket to better Julian Goswami, the great Julian Goswami. So she's eyeing up the records herself.
The approach from Ireland has been brilliant. They scored in excess of 200 in that first ODI. Yes, chasing a huge target here, but they did not collapse for something less than 100 or 150. They're pushing 200 and they still have time. So just to make sure that that minimum standard or the threshold is lifted every time.
Gone. A chance yet again created by Deepti Sharma, and Richa Ghosh behind the stumps spills it.
Gets up too early, this one keeping low from Deepti Sharma. But Richa Ghosh going up and then having to go back down. And when that happens, more often than not, you go at it with hard hands.
And then a boundary to the bowler.
Much better option this for Leah Paul. A very strong sweeper. A very good hockey player. And you could really see that with that shot. She survived the previous one. She had thought about dancing down. Instead, she turns to her strength, and the line helps her, in fact, because the line forced her to go between the two fielders, and she just couldn't quite cut that one off. Could Rowell.
There was an opportunity to go there. One better than Julian Goswami. 2 for 21 Julian's figures against Australia in Sydney in the 100th ODI match. Deepti Sharma on 2 for 29 in her 9th over. She will still have some time, but there was an opportunity, a couple of deliveries earlier. Well played. Waited on that. Waited on the ball to turn.
Fine tickle there from Arlene Kelly. It's nicely inside the line. and just helps it along. Runs away fine, even with that short fine leg position. Fielder in place. No chance for them.
Two or 5 for 5.
Good over for Ireland. 10 runs coming off it, 2 fours and 2 singles. Both these batters were looking good in the previous game as well. Leah Paul, of course, with that big partnership with Gabby Lewis, but Arlene Kelly as well. Some late hitting in that innings.
Niranjan Shah Stadium in Rajkot. Slightly on the outskirts of the main city. .205 in the 44th over.
A big job for India now for the final 6 overs. Can they just set themselves a challenge of trying to take some more wickets? Close out strong. There's been plenty of good bowling, but I think they'll be disappointed with how they've responded at times against Ireland who've attacked them. Saili's been really good. 1 for 28. She'll close out her spell, you'd imagine. That means that someone will have to bowl a 1 over spell.
Yeah, good point, because even in the last game, the Indian bowlers had only 7 wickets in the bag. And now we're trying to restrict Ireland. They've done that as well by piling up 370 on the board. They've created probably 2 or 3 chances as well, which clearly they should be saying that should have come in our favour. So this 5 could have been closer to a 7.
Well, the fear they would have had coming into the second half is, are Ireland really going to come after this? Are we going to be able to take wickets? But Ireland have come after it. Just like that with the pull shot from Leah Paul. So when people are actually attacking, that's when you actually get opportunities to take wickets. So that's a small problem. It is a young bowling attack. So that's the other thing to keep in the back of your mind. So it's a great opportunity for them to learn on the job. And then after the game, going into game 3, what can we do better? How can we actually take the wickets when we've built some pressure? So lots of questions that will be answered, no doubt. But a great opportunity for them to learn and actually still have the runs on the board so they can try things out.
The first 6 of the innings for Ireland. And it's come off the bat of Arlene Kelly.
Cracking shot, that one. The timing, the sound off the bat. Something to remember. Gets into a great position. Balance and boom. 69 meter 6.
Yeah, she does pack a punch, Arlene Kelly. That's why she comes in at number 7, and she comes in at number 7 or 8 in T20s as well. A breezy 28 from 25 in the last game. So she has really lengthened the batting order for Ireland, and that might be why they left out a batter today to strengthen their bowling stocks.
There was a chance on the way back. The ball, Saili Satgare. Yeah, absolutely. The kind of attacking stroke play that they've displayed. One might look at the scoreboard and say they've just got 214. It's not like they're batting on 275 or 285. They're still about 150 runs plus away from the target. But the first game where they had a 117 run stand between the captain and Leah Paul, to this approach of finishing the over with a straight drive, this is wonderful redemption. 218 for 5.
Mr. 360 in full flow. The sparkling Sanju Samson. Fantastic Tilak Verma.
It's England into the spectacular. This should be quite a contest.
India versus England. First T20I, 22nd January. Only on Disney Plus Hotstar and Star Sports.
Yeah. Smashed him for 6. Big bombs. Myers and it goes him over.
KFC Big Bash League. 15th December to 27th January.
Question mark? Now you got to be better. Give them more percentage for class, grace, style, effectiveness.
Left arm bowlers as well?
Undoubtedly. That ball that leaves the right-hander, class. Deepti Sharma with the last over.
Bit of an apology from Leopold. Arlene Kelly, there was a single there, went into square leg. They kept that 45 at that angle despite the boundary in the last over.
Wicket for Deepti Sharma. 100th ODI. And by picking up a third wicket, she's bettered Julan Goswami's record of 2 for 21 set in 2009.
In her 100th ODI, Deepti Sharma picks up a third. And she's right on target. Drawing the batter out. The ball doing a bit too much. Keeps a tad low. And that makes the difference and crashes into the stumps. All her experience comes through. As Arlene Kelly goes back for a quick 19, 2-18 for 6 Ireland.
No teams that you can take lightly.
What a catch! Got him!
जो प्यार था,
Will you marry me?
उसने धोखे का मतलब सिखाया। तारा, आज तुमने शिवा की मासूमियत को ही उसका गुनाह बना दिया, जिसका हिसाब ये अभिमन्यु लेगा। मैं तुम्हें बर्बाद कर दूंगा तारा।
Ava Canning with her first runs of the tour coming into the game today. Handy number 8. And she's in because Arlene Kelly, well, it kept a little bit low, it did a little bit too much, and she moved away as well. Deepti Sharma just holding the pace back ever so slightly, and we've seen that the pitch is a little bit too paced. Ava Canning, another one of the new Irish players on the very tall side. They didn't build them like that when I was playing, I can tell you. We were all very small, so it's useful, especially playing against spinners in India. She can take a big stride, likes to play down the ground.
We can't boast of that stat as yet.
Work to do is what comes back in the report.
Yeah, barring a few players on the park whose average height is probably 5'7", 5'8". The rest have a lot of climbing up to do. 2-2-1 for 6.
A spirited effort from the Ireland batting side. 38 for Forbes, 80 for Coulter Riley, 37 for Delaney.
Kempsey, Dalzell and Sargent. You reckon any more changes coming through for the third one-day international for Ireland, or do they have those options?
Well, I just wonder if Laura Delaney can bowl. If they think she's an option in the third game, then they might bring in Una Raymond-Hoey again. But otherwise, I don't think so. There is actually Rebecca Stokel, who we saw fielding for the whole game in the first day when Gabby Lewis couldn't take the field. She's been an opener in the past. She's batting middle order now, so she's another option. I'd like to see them give her an opportunity here, if even just so she's exposed to the conditions. So she's another option that they could go with instead of Una Raymond-Hoey.
Shivani, do you foresee any changes for India?
You do have Ragvi Bisht, who's been called up into the squad, hasn't made her ODI debut yet. She was impressive in the T20s. Uma Chaitri as well. Was impressive in a couple of the previous games. Or maybe one or two.
Should land safe. Is gonna land safe because it's a long one, a second maximum in the Irish innings.
Well, she'd been sweating on that one. Ava Canning used the full length of the levers as the slower ball, and I think she picked it. Look how much she's got to reach for that. So impressive that she's managed to send it all the way over the rope. But she is a clean striker of the ball. She's a strong girl as well, and I think that she's someone that Ireland will look to maybe turn into a bowling all-rounder. She has that kind of ability in ball striking.
Yeah, the power is there, the strength is there. It's about getting the biomechanics right, to adding on more pace, which is already there for Canning. And you look at the levers in this shot that Ava Canning has hit, a maximum. You know, and once all those changes and alterations are made for the betterment of Canning's bowling, and over here as well, I'm sure it's going to become a lot more valuable to the team.
And also to do it more consistently, time and time again, to become that dependable person in that situation. She is tall. She will have the opportunity to get that high backlift and nice swing going with her long levers. Huge advantage.
To 9 for 6.
It's England, dangerous batting lineup.
Such a confident Indian side, just oozing with talent.
This should be quite a contest.
India versus England, first T20I, 22nd January, only on Disney Plus Hotstar and Star Sports.
मोहब्बत का फरेब करके जैसे तुमने मुझे बर्बाद किया था, वैसे ही मैं तुम्हें बर्बाद कर दूंगा तारा। अब कदम मेरा अगला देखना। प्यार तो देखा, अब मेरा बदला देखना।
Dempsey showed that she has the ability to hit nicely in the last game. 6 from 3 for her. Mia Paul's probably the last recognised batter in the lineup. The others will back themselves. Alana Dalzell famously hit a boundary, her first boundary in international cricket, on her first ball, which was the last ball of the game against England in an ODI to hand the victory to Ireland. So she's no mug either.
Those sorts of situations, and when you are able to pull it off, it gives you plenty of confidence. And gives you some material for boasting too.
I'm sure she wouldn't do that. There's going to be a few one-over spells here, isn't there? Because this is Priya's last over. There's going to have to be a few people coming on and bowling one overs, which maybe that was the plan. They want to practice that. You never know.
Yeah, they don't boast of too many options. They're developing those options, the Indian team, and that's why we've seen Pratika Rawal also come out there and bowl a couple of overs. It's a good thing that in the last game as well that Priya Mishra got to complete her quota of 10 overs. The seam bowlers went 9. Sayali went for 10. So consistently, if your frontline bowlers, Deepti Sharma has gone for 3 for 37, now Priya Mishra is going to bowl out here. It just indicates that you know exactly which ones are the ones that you must give it out as a full quota to measure the consistency and their performance.
Good to see the young Ava Canning coming down the pitch. Just couldn't quite let it drop so that she could maybe get some elevation.
Safe in the outfield. A couple of runs added to the total.
It started coming out of her crease very early. And Priya Mishra adjusting well. But didn't quite hit it well enough. That kind of saved her as well with the 2 boundary riders there.
Wicket for Priya Mishra.
And she got it right on that occasion. Priya Mishra closes out her 10 overs in style. She knew what was coming at her. It was Ava Canning coming like a train. Got the line right. Just cramped up Canning for some space. Didn't give her the arms. Canning still went through with the shot. And just about takes leg stump. Just reward for a really good execution and delivery. So Ava Canning, well, she entertained us for a short while. She's got to go for 11 from 12. It's 234 for 7.
.234 for 7 Ireland. Last 2 overs in the innings remaining. Priya Mishra has bowled out. 2 for 53. Georgina Dempsey.
Nice attacking running that from Leah Paul. As soon as she hit it, she could take the single. I guess coming down the pitch as well, she knows she's almost there.
To the previous wicket, Ava Canning coming down the track again. It was predictable, and Priya Mishra had the answer to get Canning out of there.
Is there going to be a lot of aggressive conversation, is he, in the Irish dressing room, looking at the performance, looking at how they could have done a lot better with the ball?
No, I don't think so. I really don't, because they're a learning group, as we've talked about a lot, how young they are. It's very much about the process. And I think they've shown that they have a plan, especially with the bat. They know what they're trying to do. They've executed probably not as much as the Indian batters, but definitely enough to give you some hope. Christina Kulturali, perfect example. She's beaten her previous highest by 56 runs, if my maths is correct. Highest score for an Ireland wicketkeeper. That's including Amy Hunter. She's made her top scores when she hasn't had the gloves. So I think she's going to be pretty pleased as punch, Christina Coulter-Riley. Full toss, not hit very well. Is there a chance? Had to hit. Oh, that was a comedy of errors really there. No ball.
And a free hit as well, because there was a waist high full toss from Saima Thakur.
It's a good opportunity for Ireland to push towards 250 to get another 12 runs in the balls they have remaining. Free hit, and Dempsey will be on strike.
I like the way she held her shot back. You can't blame Saima Thakur for missing that ball, because she got a knock on her fingers in this return throw from Saili Satkare.
Well, whenever there's a no ball or a free hit, I always say you can be run out. It's the only way you can get run out. That was almost a big mistake from Leopold.
Safe. It should be safe. It is. One bounce into the fence.
This is such a good option from Leopold, fetching it from outside off stump, and the way she holds the bat at the top of the grip means that she can use the full levers. Sweet connection as well. Pick the slower ball, swipes it away to the leg side. And she knows with that shot there's not going to be a fielder there. Straight through the mid-wicket, one bounce, 4 runs.
Might be a no ball, another one in the over for Saima Thakur. Seems safe. 2-4-5 for 7.
में शॉट मारते हैं और सब लोग खुश हो जाते हैं, तो ऑफ साइड में बॉल डाल के उनका विकेट निकालते हैं। जब हम क्रिकेट खेलने जाएंगे तो वो आदमी हमसे जरूर झगड़ा करेगा।
अरे इतने सारे साल क्रिकेट को देने के बाद थोड़ी तो इज्जत मांगेगा ना वो।
हाँ तो करने दे, हमने भी हाथ में चूड़ियां नहीं पहन रखी।
हमारा वर्ल्ड एलिमेंट से बना है, तो अब इमेजिन कर कि हर एक एलिमेंट एक इंसान के अंदर हो।
You were asking about positives as well, Anjuman. Highest score again for Ireland. So they're adding each game they're playing, they're improving. 238 in the first game. Now they've reached 245. They'll hope to cross that 250 run mark. And against India, no matter what India 11 that is, that's a big improvement from Ireland from, back in 1997 at the World Cup here. When you look at the performances, though they didn't play India then, the time between then and now, it's been a big improvement.
And they haven't stopped yet. It's already the second highest score for Ireland in a chase, and they're just adding on to it with a couple of runs over here.
They aren't taking it easy. They're putting the fielders under pressure, pushing for the twos, even the quick singles. And that's been a feature throughout the innings.
Oh, that's a miss from Richa Ghosh. It hasn't been a best in terms of the wicket keeping from Richa Ghosh in the last 2 games.
And they have crossed that.
The fact that they've got to 250 plus without a lot of contribution from their top 2 batters, Gabby Lewis and Ola Prendergast. In the last match, at least, the 92 came in from Gabby Lewis, but today it was a 12 from her, from Prendergast 3. So Coulter-Riley, with a contribution of 80, has held them good Forbes, a 38, but a well-compiled 38. And everyone else has contributed. So that's a big plus to what you've been mentioning about.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. And I think that one of the things that's changed about the Ireland setup is that it's not, oh no, someone hasn't scored runs. It's, I want to be the one. I want to be the one who's making the runs. And I think Christina Coulter-Riley, despite it being her 4th international, genuine disappointment that she didn't get 100, which just wouldn't have been in the mindset in previous setups.
It was nearly the perfection for everyone out there had Priya Mishra completed that or managed to hold on to that catch.
Top effort that. Timed the jump really well. Went with one hand as she had to for this chance. Leopold just getting enough elevation. Jumping a little too much there, Priya Mishra.
Oh, it's hit the heel of the hand. You want that to just stick.
Ireland finished their innings on a 254 for the loss of 7 wickets. And India, once again, end up on the winning side. And also, 4th consecutive series at home, a win for the Indian team as they lead this series 2-0.
Yeah, largely on the back of a brilliant batting performance. Jemima Rodriguez, maiden century for her. It was 100 and out, but lots and lots of contributions with the bat. Harleen Diol was brilliant as well. And a brilliant opening stand that set things up.
Jemima was absolutely brilliant. A great partnership with Harleen Diol. They combined when the score was on 156 for 2. Both openers following each other back to the hut. Huge partnership, put on 180 plus run partnership. But Ireland as well. They put their best foot forward, played some aggressive cricket, some nice shots, 26 fours and 2 sixes. Aggressive running between the wickets. They kept going after it. Even when it felt the target was too far, you could still see the positivity and the intent out there in the middle. The hats off to Ireland.
It was amazing that they kept us so glued to the screen, despite the fact that they were nowhere near the target. It was still just absorbing viewing the battle between Ireland's batters and India's bowlers. Because especially for India, there are spots up for grabs. You really felt like they were trying to take opportunities and take wickets, such as the competition within the group. The same goes for Ireland.
You know she's done well. She knows she's done well. As always, one of those first players to congratulate everyone, Jemima Rodriguez. With that 183-run partnership with Harleen, but she went on to get 100. Harleen missed out an opportunity. But this man, the coach of the Indian women's cricket team, Amol Mazumdar, will have a lot more positives to talk about in that dressing room. From the last series against the West Indies to this series against the Ireland team. 3 wickets for Deepti Sharma as well. All in all, a good performance for the Indian team to go 2-0 up in the series. Harleen Diol joins us. Harleen, well batted. Are you happy with your knock?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm very happy with the knock. Could have had one more 100, but then whatever God gives you, you should take it rather than complain.
I'm glad you said that, because that's definitely the kind of an innings that you were setting up towards in getting that 100. So tell us, did you have those nerves, or did you just feel that it was just not that perfect shot that you played?
No, actually, when I was playing, I was just thinking about how can we increase the team's total, because at that time you were not just thinking about you are on 89 or whatever it was. But then at that time I was just thinking that I just have to hit, because mid-off was up. So I just